Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Hope everyone is doing well. What's happening? I have videos for you galore, right? Including Venezuela, U.S. attempts to overthrow Venezuela, and a fucking tiger, and China threatens war, and social distancing while hiking, dog walking, do as I say, and the Treasury wants $3 trillion, you guys. Did you know that the Treasury wants $3 trillion? Dollars. My name's Mike, and this is your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, it's always better when you're here. In fact, it would be completely meaningless without you. In fact. Uh, so, this is a call-in show. Feel free to call anytime. The number is 805-669-6397. We have operators standing by. Let's see. And whatever else is happening. um, I am having beef jerky and Mike Hawk for president, and and I think a big bong load here coming up because I feel a little bit like something's missing. We need something. Something's missing here. Must be like a big fat dab. That's what we need. We need to have a big fat dab. We need to have ooh. I don't know. It always makes my mouth water when I do that? Freaky, huh? Right? It's just I don't know if it does that to you guys, but it's always mind blowing to me that it does that to me. Oh, I want it. Um. So China is threatening war, and the thing about China threatening war, that's really important to understand is that China doesn't make threats. Okay? China is giving you a last warning that you better fucking shut up because so they seem to have different facts than what the Pentagon and the White House media is putting out, right? So it's interesting, and you know what's really scary is that is there anybody is there anybody? Do you know what this is? It says Craig. Can you see this on my thing? So it says 18 seconds. Okay. Okay. So let's see. No, let's see. The thing about China threatening war is that China doesn't threaten. You know, this is your last warning. This is where we're at. And what really bothers me about it is when I think about it and I wonder, is there anybody in the Pentagon who hears China threatening war and isn't doesn't sound like music to their ears? Right? Is there anybody in the Pentagon who more war or like an even bigger unstoppable war that we could never ever win sounds just amazing to them? Is there anybody in the Pentagon you think that doesn't sound like, wow, I wonder? You know, just like their whole fucking brain just lights up with excitement and fucking adrenaline and shit, right? And who brought us to this place in history, in time and space, right here in this moment now? The Republicans and the Democrats together working hand in hand to make to fund things like laboratories where they work on viruses that can kill every single human on the planet, as if that's a perfectly fine thing to do with your tax dollars, right? Um, and then act like, oh no, this didn't come from a lab. You're full of shit, okay? And big letters across the screen. And this is my point. This is my point again. And you hear, yesterday I played a video of Pompeo saying, oh yeah, this came out of lab. And Trump saying this looks like it came out of lab, and all kinds of other people. Okay, and the intelligence community, all capital letters, right across the middle of the screen, all agree this is not a man-made virus. And that may be just some kind of bullshit double speak where, you know, you know, uh, actually that statement's true because the coronavirus was created, is alive, and all kinds of fuck you. Okay, and we know that this is what's happening. And we know that the intelligence community is full of shit, and we know that the media is full of shit, and we know that all the politicians are full of shit, and we know that the police are full of shit, and we know that the for-profit medical industrial complex is full of shit. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with you and I, who they now have us so terrified of that if you're not wearing a mask, what are you doing standing next to me? They're fear shit. We played the thing about the murder hornets yesterday, right? Murder hornet. If the COVID-19, that was the title of the show yesterday. If the COVID-19 doesn't get you, the murder hornets will, right? And we played a clip talking about the murder hornets, and it was a local clip. I was glad to play a local clip of that, but it was all over the national news, and it really, I again, this is just this never-ending fear, fear, fear. It's not just hornets. It's like murder hornets, and they're here from Asia. They're Asian. You know what that means? They're extra murderous. You know how those Asian hornets are, right? And before that it was your cat, and after that it was your dog, and before it was your dog, all the news people were broadcasting from home with their dog sitting on their lap. It just doesn't fucking end. And it's not enough that you're terrified of right now in this moment in time. It's that this is going to go on forever. In the fall it's going to come back and it's going to be even worse. Right? In the fall, it's going to come back and it's going to be even worse. And this is what they keep telling you. And now the Costco is helping them spread their fear by making everybody wear masks, right? So you have to wear a mask at the store, and nothing's going to fucking make people more afraid, right, than walking around in a room full of people that are so fucking afraid that they got to put masks over their faces, right? So, and nothing's going to make people buy into it more, you know? So I wholeheartedly say fuck you, Costco, and all these other places are going to start requiring this shit because it's going to happen. And it's all about the testing and the tracking. It's all about the testing and the tracking. Okay? And you know it is because I've been telling you this forever. They want to follow every step you take and every single person you come in contact with. Okay? Testing, tracking. And they want to have fucking a sample from all of you, of your DNA now. for whatever unscrupulous bullshit they want that for. Because you know it's not in your best interest, whatever it is. Right? When has this government ever been in your best interest or the working class best interest? When in your lifetime, when has this government been about that? We're the ones who have the power if we just come together. We could stomp Washington, D.C. into just a pile of mud and blood. We could stomp it, just stomp it to the ground. Nothing left. If we could just come together and recognize who the true and real enemy is to your own personal freedom. How much clearer has it ever been in your lifetime? Who the true and real threat to your personal freedom is. The only true and real threat to your personal freedom is this federal government and your local governments. Your state governments and your federal government. They're the only ones who limit your freedom. And they act like that's their fucking job. Endlessly. More and more. We have to babysit every single fucking American. More than we can even imagine possible. We'll just keep adding on more and more every fucking year. Until they're so buried in it, they're just swimming through it. And they thank their fucking lucky stars every time they get a little breath of fucking freedom. Like, oh, thank God. And then fucking pulled back down under all their fucking garbage when they fucking take an oath to protect your freedom. They say they put their hand on their religious text of their choice and swear to the deity that they believe in. They believe in that so much, right? And then they shit all over that fucking solemn oath to the people and to their deity. They shit all over it again and again and again. And they say, oh, maybe some of that shit will trickle down on the people. And then they all laugh and go have a nice 4-martini lunch on your fucking dime. Or actually, it's the dime of the military-industrial complex or some other fucking cunt who has way too much fucking money. And has nothing but evil in mind for the people of this great country and this amazing planet. Because that's all the fucking military-industrial complex has planned, is fucking endless evil. They're the ones who come up with this fucking weaponized virus bullshit. That's what we're given. That's our choices. Republicans or Democrats, both of whom work together hand in hand to fund this kind of bullshit with your tax dollars. Endlessly. Happily. With big smiles on their faces. And they talk about how they have to protect the people. Nobody's protecting the people. The people have to stand up and come together and protect themselves and their country. Because nothing but evildoers are in charge right now. And they are gonna fucking run this fucking boat up a fucking a reef so high it ain't ever gonna come off again. And if it does, it's gonna sink straight to the bottom. And that's their plan. And you know why? Why would they want to do that? Because they're rich and it will never touch them. In fact, they'll just make more money than ever. And you know why? Because the middle class, the poverty class has never been more oppressed, has never had their rights more fucking taken away, more limited. So how are they going to make more money? Because they do whatever. They start whatever wars they want on bullshit and lies. And it just goes on, and now they're in a stronger position than ever before. They've got fucking people say, you know, they say jump. You don't say how high, you just fucking start jumping. That's not what this government or the American citizen is supposed to be about. They say jump, you say, who the fuck are you? And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the relationship that the people are supposed to have with this fucked up piece of shit government. They are supposed to be the ones that say, fuck you and your fucking laws, you fucking fuck. I don't give a shit about your fucking laws. This is the land of the fucking free. Get a clue, asshole. What the fuck do you think you were fucking swearing to your God about when you put your hand on the Bible? You giant sack of shit. Am I making myself clear? Not fear, strength. The fear is what keeps us apart. The strength is what gives us the coming together, is what gives us the ability to have the strength we need to take down this piece of garbage government. And if you don't think it's a piece of garbage government, I suppose I understand, right? They just gave you a big fat check. You know, they're doing whatever it is. It's supposed to be the land of the free. You know, and I mean, how long have we lived with the bullshit and the lies and the 47,000 new laws every year after year after year? It's not fear. It's that we have the power. You have the power. You are the superheroes on this planet, the protectors, the ones who are supposed to make things the way they're supposed to be, not some fucking tyrants who fucking want nothing but to hold the people down and then trickle on us. Haven't you had enough? I don't want you to get angry. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to be strong enough to recognize the real enemy. And it may take more strength than you've ever had in your fucking life. You may have to fucking reach way down inside and recognize what's actually happening and who are the true evildoers. It's right there in your face. There is no doubt. Anyone watching can see. I showed you the fucking thing about Fauci fucking funding, Fauci's fucking secret, whatever, right? Funding Fauci's deep secret. What's his fucking name? Fauci Wuhan lab. There you go. Fauci, right? Where's it at? Where's the fucking Newsweek one? Fauci, no. Fauci funds Wuhan lab. Hold on. Right? Funded, okay? Funded, fine, funded. 3.7 million, right there. Where's the fucking, god damn it. Funded. Where's it at? It's all over. You can see. Oh, there it is. Newsweek. There it is. Newsweek, okay? It's not a fucking, I mean, it's not some fucking, whatever you want to call it, a National Enquirer, Okay, this is the people who these are the people who fucking are supposed to be a trusted name, a Goliath in the news industry. You know, Fauci backed, controversial Wuhan lab. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. There we go. Hold on, hold on. There we go. Fauci backed, controversial Wuhan lab with US dollars for risky coronavirus research. Okay, these are the people. These are the people in charge. This is going. These people want you dead or don't care if you die. They'll stand up there and act like it matters so much to them. That is not the truth. All that matters is money and power. And you and your pathetic little life couldn't matter less. And if you don't know that already, I don't know what you're paying attention to. Again, these people, they go, oh, here's $1,200. $1,200 is good. It'll help the economy. It'll help, keep everything from collapsing. Well, why don't we get that every month if it's good for the economy, right? Why aren't we, because that would cut into the rich people's, little fucking next mega yacht, right? I am so tired. So tired. I just, I turn on the news now and I'm like, I can't listen. I gotta shut it off. And I just want to check to make sure that there's not, like, I turn it on before I go to bed, to make sure that there's not something that's like happening right now besides the bird box monster being everywhere all at once. Um, and I try and check to make sure that there's not something, you know, that's important to all of us that you need to see right now before I go to bed. And I turn it on, and it's like within seconds, I'm like, shut it off, shut it off, shut it off. It's just fucking. I don't know. It's like I've read the comment uh, for years. On the videos, is it I can feel my IQ going down the longer I watch this person talk, and it's understandable, and that's been part of one of the things I've been pointing out is that the people are full of shit and lying and trying to hurt you with misinformation and propaganda. So, it's always been the truth. I've always just been here to try and open eyes, and open your eyes to who the real enemy is. Because there's only really one real threat to your freedom, to your personal freedom. You living your life the way you want. And it's our government, whether it be local, state, or federal. It's our government. They're the only ones who truly limit your freedom. And it's not right because they're supposed to be about the people, for the people, blah blah the people. Of the people, for the people, about the people, whatever. Right? And here we are. I mean, is any working class person represented by this government? No, 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 no. Unless you're a really fucked up working class person who wants endless wars based on lies, simply to put your children's children into the most biggest debt they can possibly ever have. And to make fucking cunts that are already so super rich, even more rich beyond their wildest dreams. That's the only reason for war. And we just spread it around the world and spread it around the world like it's an okay thing to do. That's what our government is doing. And we got to take it back. And if we don't take it back, aren't we to blame? Really? Because like I said before, when I built my first website in 1997, and the very first fucking graphic I put at the top of that web page was a waving American flag, because to me, in that moment, it symbolized freedom reigns here. I don't know if anybody feels that way anymore, but I did then. I don't. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike.
What's happening, man?
Not much. What are you doing?
Same old thing I always do. Try and take over the world.
Okay. Well, we got some similarities here with Fauci in 1963. In 1963, they blew off our president's head in broad daylight and on film. And then they appointed this guy, Earl Warren, to head up this commission, this Warren Commission, and they appointed Allen Dulles, the director of the CIA, to be on it to make sure that he helped cover everything up and squish all the information and not let certain information through. And now we got Fauci on TV, the guy partially responsible for this whole mess, and he's doing a pretty good job of spreading bullshit all over the place, trying to cover up his role in it. But it seems like Trump's going to have to break within a short period of time if he gets the accurate information in front of him. But it's kind of ballsy of Fauci to jump up there on TV when he's got this big history of kind of like skirting the law and doing questionable things, probably illegal things. And yet he's up there at the podium every fucking day, and that's kind of ballsy, huh? Don't you think?
These people, like you keep talking about, how they're legends in their own mind. So it's not so much that it's ballsy as he thinks he's somehow untouchable.
Yeah, that is a symptom of psychopathy when you think. Risk taking is a symptom of psychopathy. I think it's kind of risky for him to do that, but you don't see like Harvey Weinstein on Dancing with the Stars. When he's under indictment for 400 sexual perversions. You don't see Harvey Weinstein doing that, but Fauci is a different story.
But he's not under indictment for anything. A lot of people, to the point of, some of our callers in the past have talked about how Fauci is a good guy and he's just trying to do the right thing. And we had to correct him, So it's not everybody's sees things the same way, unfortunately.
Well, I'm seeing so many. I actually shot you guys over this morning on I hit Craig up on Facebook, and then I shot you over an email also, I think with the same video, which was shot in my town by a company called Elevate. They're like a film company, a really small film company. And they did an interview right here in this town of that Dr. Judy Mikovits, the one who has, 25 years experience with Fauci in the U.S. OMRID facility. She's the one that Fauci stole documents from, and then squished her lawsuit, and actually was responsible for throwing her in jail. And so that guy, he's making a movie called Plandemic, yeah, which I think he should just change the title to Pandemic, because it's not for sure that it was planned out.
Hey, I'll post a link to that in the chat, you guys.
Yeah, no, I actually like Plandemic. I think that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, well, I can go either way with it, but I think you'll get more views if you just put Pandemic on it and present the exact same information.
Well, for some artists, it's not all about views.
Well, when you're in a global crisis, the more people that know the accurate information, the better. That's my point. Yeah, that was. I stumbled across it this morning. I realized, oh my God, I know that guy, and he's walking down my street. Oh, and that's my park. And I listened to it, and so I was impressed because usually those guys do like new age bullshit videos. How to wash crystals and stuff like that.
Huh.
So,
Cool.
So
They sound like interesting guys.
Say what?
They sound like interesting guys.
Yeah, they're cool. They're just a little cliquish. I never fit into their crowd, so I never hung out with them. And my ex-girlfriend was living at that house, and I didn't want to go over there. And so, I never hung out with them, and I don't really know them, but I know who they are. And I'm not a new age guy, but he's obviously got skills in video editing and experience, and he's got a big interest into it. And I'm really surprised that a little new age film company in my town would actually get a hold of Dr. Judy Mikovic and have her come to Ohio and walk her down the street and walk her through the park and sit her down and get her story. And it was only 26 minutes long, and it's just like one of those soundbite things they put out before the real movie comes out, so they must be making a detailed movie. I think it'll be pretty good, but there's lots of people interviewing her right now. I don't think they can squish this information for much longer. I think within a week, 2 at the outside, Trump's going to have to do something about this guy Fauci, but I have no idea what he's going to do. Maybe
you don't think that? So you think inside a week this information is going to be all over the mainstream media?
Or 2, yeah. It's all, you're already pulling it up on Newsweek.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think they can. The difference between the Warren Commission, which was set up to cover up the Kennedy assassination, is the Warren Commission was pre-internet and behind closed doors, and there was no films of it. But we're in the internet age now, and if fucking Harvey Weinstein grabs some actress's pussy, we're going to hear about it. Maybe later rather than sooner, but we're in the internet age, and this is you got a million smart people doing the same thing as me going, I'm scratching my head trying to figure out how the fuck did this happen? This is pretty serious. I've never seen this before. And they're just all diving into it, and it's good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah, so the question I got is, what's Trump going to do about it? Is he going to roll over to the deep state? He's always talking about the deep state, but he's fucking sitting in the same room with the deep state every day. So it's like I haven't got a clue what the guy's going to do. Hopefully he'll bust. I knew a couple of weeks ago that he was pointing a finger at China without knowing there was American involvement. So my point is, now everybody is slowly going to, over the next 2 weeks, going to be finding out there is actual American involvement. So it's not right to point only at China. So once Trump finds this out, what's he going to do about it? That's the wild card. Nobody knows what Trump is going to do. Maybe he'll drop a mother of all bombs on the COVID-19, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. I don't know. Who knows?
I think that we're going to have to worry about this for a while.
Yeah.
But and like you're saying, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Really, it's the truth is so much bigger than COVID-19, and what we have to do is get to the truth so that this kind of shit doesn't fucking happen again.
Well, you're 100% correct in being angry about not just the COVID-19 thing, but the fact that biolabs exist, and that you might have heard by now that China is going with the Russian model of trying to shut down all the biolabs in former Russian territories, like Yugoslavia and places like that, where NATO has these same biolab set up. Did you happen to catch that on any news source within the last couple of days?
No, I didn't see that anywhere.
Yeah, China is calling for the shutdown of all European biolabs, and so is Russia, by the way. So
Good.
that might be the Chinese way of deflecting guilt, by pointing at other biolabs in Europe, even though they're the ones who somehow violated the level 4 protocols and accidentally released it, because we wouldn't have heard about this stuff really if there hadn't have been a release. I really don't think it was planned out. Personally, in my opinion, it was an accidental release, and now all eyes are on you and me, we got to keep all eyes on the biolabs and shut them all down everywhere. Russia, China, United States, Canada, Europe, everywhere. I think if we could do that would be a success. That would be maybe worth the all the deaths involved in this COVID-19 pandemic. I think if we could do that.
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know about worth deaths, as nobody's mom is worth anything, can't put a price on that. But I think that, I think that if we can, if we can stop those labs,
Right.
or even just put a lot of light on them, which doesn't seem to be happening at all, 3/4 of the way through this plague, So.
Well, if we keep the pressure up, and we can somehow dribble down the information to the public who doesn't know, they're watching CNN and they're going, they're just swallowing a bunch of bullshit stories. If we can drip that information into the public and increase the awareness of the biolabs. And they're all over. They're in Canada, they're in Europe, they're in the United States, they're in Russia, they're in China. Probably South America doesn't have any. I'd be surprised if they had any.
I wouldn't.
Say what?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think they're really into that, man. I think that it's the major powers and the European powers that are into that. They're suffering right now. I've seen pictures from Bolivia of police brutality and protesters being beaten and all over South America. And so,
yeah. Do you see the Green Beret that was captured in Venezuela? 2 Green Berets captured in Venezuela trying to fucking do some shenanigans there. Do you see that?
I didn't know it was a Green Beret. I thought they killed like 9 out of 10 people that pulled up on a boat. Is that the same thing?
I don't know about pulled up on a boat. There was some kind of an attempt to, I guess, free Maduro or something, and that's his name, right? Maduro. That's
Maduro's not in jail. He's the president, and he's not.
What's the guy who they say was elected as president? The U.S.
Guaido.
I guess they went to try and get Guaido out.
Yeah, I was telling you that a month ago when the Congress of Venezuela called for Guaido to come to be questioned at a hearing. It wasn't a trial, it was just a hearing to determine whether they would charge him with treason. Guaido, of course, the CIA backed Guaido. Then America pulled up 2 or 3 big boats off the coast of Venezuela. I knew.
I think this is something new, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess they finally did something, and now you're saying Venezuela captured an American Green Beret.
2 Green Berets with fucking like Pentagon ID on them and shit. But they're like retired, and working for some kind of fucking mercenary fucking company.
Yeah, wow.
But it's not like the fucking Pentagon doesn't hire those fucking mercenary companies to go and run their fucking missions, dude. We all know that.
You come out of retirement. We need you.
It's not coming out of retirement. It's okay. You're gonna pay my $2,000 an hour fucking fee or whatever that fucking cost is to be a mercenary at this time in fucking history. And
right, yeah.
you pay the price, and I'm gonna go there. I have a video, and they said like they talked to the guy's father, the Green Beret's father, and they said that he's totally unpolitical person, and all I can think is, yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about your politics at all. As long as you got enough money to pay his fucking price, he's down to do whatever. That's what I hear. Fucking
yeah. So the guy's father was saying, "Oh, my son is he's like some innocent party." The guy, it's like, dude, your son fucking invaded a sovereign country, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I don't.
It's like, they're always going to defend their sons, whether or not their sons had nuclear triggers or not.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, yeah.
No, I didn't know it was an American. I had heard a boat pulled up off the coast of a South American country, and 9 of the 10 people were killed. But maybe that was a different incident, because one Green Beret, nobody goes in a foreign country alone. One guy.
Yeah.
There had to be other guys.
No, they captured 2 Green Berets, and yeah, there was some other guys they captured with them too. But 2 of them had Pentagon ID on them and stuff, expired, apparently, according to the mainstream media, expired Pentagon ID.
Yeah, well, it's like, Guaido, he should have cut and run and just never re-entered the country.
Yeah.
He went to Washington, D.C., and he met with Pence, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure he met with Trump. But yeah, he was in a secure place. They could have been like, this poor guy who's fucking ousted from his country and the rightful president, it could have been a great propaganda thing. I don't know why the fuck they would have sent him back there.
Do you have a video on that?
Yeah, on the Green Berets getting captured. Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, I most certainly have not seen that. So that's pretty cool. But, yeah, man, it's like fucking Viva la Revolution, man. It's like, and there, even while you would think that this horrible, horrible virus, this global pandemic would bring all of humanity together, we're still demonizing Cuba. We're still demonizing Venezuela. In Brazil, that crazy fucking president they got in Brazil is still fucking just doing crazy shit. He's even crazier than Trump. And, we're still demonizing Iran. And, you got AFRICOM, you got giant bases in Africa doing horrible shit we don't know about. So the war machine keeps rolling on. Right now, our eyes are on a different lobbyist group, and that is the pharmaceutical lobby, which, if they are calling the shots, and they most definitely are, then we're seeing live every day, 24/7, the power of the pharmaceutical lobby, because these people stand to make billions of dollars off of the bullshit death serum they want to inject in our arms. I heard Gates the other day saying we need 14 billion shots, inoculations. It's like, fuck that. You can take 3 billion of those up your own ass, Bill Gates, because I'm not even getting close to one. I'll kill anybody who tries to stick me with a fucking virus-laden injection. It's like, you get more susceptible to the fucking this COVID-19 if you get the flu shot. And in 2019, one of the things I learned recently was that, we had an inordinate amount of deaths in Italy. The death toll was giant compared per capita compared to the number of people in Italy. Part of that is because you got a bunch of old people in Italy. Part of that is everybody smokes cigarettes. Apparently they're just like me. They just fucking chain smoke. I don't know. But also in 2019, they were given a flu vaccine that had 4 different viruses in it that weakened their immune system. So by the time this COVID-19 hit there, you had a whole bunch of immunocompromised people who eating too much pepperoni anyways, and so that's why, and smoking too many cigarettes, and that's why the death toll was so high. And so I'm starting to hear, I already heard all the horror stories coming out of Italy from the retirement homes and stuff like that. They're taking the dead bodies out by the truckload, and we saw it in New York where they're not even in refrigerated trucks. You got 20 bodies in a fucking U-Haul truck or whatever. But I'm hearing stories of coming out of hospitals of just absolute medical malpractice, people given the wrong treatments, people dying because the doctors and nurses fuck up. And so, what we're seeing here is pharmaceutical companies trying to lay out some master plan or some plan that will benefit them. And we're seeing the inadequacy of a medical system, mostly in the United States, where some of the doctors are speaking out. And we've all seen some of these doctors speak out, and I think we're going to see more. So, I'll wear my mask for 5 minutes while I walk through the grocery store, and as soon as I'm out the door, I take it off, and I'll go home with my fucking groceries. That's the only place I'm wearing a fucking mask. And it won't kill me to wear a fucking mask for 5 minutes every 5 days,
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm going to be happy,
There you go.
There we are. So, play me that video, eh?
I will. I'll play that video for you in just a sec.
Okay. Everything cool on the Western Front?
Yeah, we're good. We're chill. Dogs are happy. We went to the lake this weekend. They had a very nice time.
Cool.
Yeah.
We got another heat wave down here. It's about 90 right now.
Yeah, excellent. I'm moving plants out tomorrow. Or no, tomorrow's gonna rain hard. The day after tomorrow.
They're little babies, right?
Yeah, they're little seedlings. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, seedlings are too young, but if they're a foot tall, they can handle the rain.
Yeah, no, they're not foot tall.
So, you got no birds out there that come and attack your seedlings?
I haven't had a problem with birds. They like to dig. They like to dig in the dirt, but they seem to stay away from the plant.
Yeah, well, considering the value, they're a little bit more valuable than tomatoes. I would put some kind of little wire net over them for the first few days till they get of a good size,
I put a cover on them for the first few days.
Yeah.
More or less. I take it on and off, but I definitely put a cover on them at night.
Yeah, well, I'm doing good, man. So I'm glad you're doing good, and stay mad. Keep bitching, because this ain't no joke, man. This is it's like we saw it with the Kennedy assassination. We saw it with 911. We saw it with the USS Liberty. We saw it with Oklahoma City. They're always going to cover up their crimes. So let's not let it happen this time. As long as we stay mad and we stay kind of like focused and scientific, they can't win. I don't see, unless they plan on throwing us all in FEMA camps, they can't win. We can expose at least this fraud, at least this culpability. I'm not saying they planned to do this. I'm just saying now's the time. This could be a blessing in disguise. This could be what it takes to get people to fucking wake up. Man, maybe the people that rule us aren't quite sane,
Yeah, right. I'm not counting on it, but, like I said, I can't get rid of the fucking hope, so.
All right, brother. Well, take care. I'll watch that video.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
That's our buddy Michael from Southern California. And as I was saying to him, I have a video about Green Berets, two Green Berets captured in Venezuela, apparently attempting some kind of a rescue attempt or something, trying to get the not Maduro, Guaido out of the country. It sounded like, and I thought you guys would want to see that because obviously there's all kinds of shenanigans going down in Venezuela, and again this just comes back to what I was saying. I mean, is this how our valuable limited resources are best spent on mercenaries fucking around in Venezuela? Because we're spending a lot of money on Venezuela, probably hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars fucking with Venezuela. And I don't see how that pays off to the working class people in any way, shape, or form. Do you?
Breaking tonight, President Trump says the U.S. government has nothing to do with an alleged plot to overthrow disputed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela claims it stopped a U.S. and Colombian organized attack and says it captured two former American Special Forces fighters. State Department correspondent Rich Edson has details tonight. Good evening, Rich.
Good evening, Brad. And state officials say they're still trying to figure this out, looking into two former Army Special Forces soldiers who are apparently appear to be in custody in Venezuela, and the security contractor based in Florida that apparently sent them there, as the Maduro regime claims it has thwarted an incursion. Disputed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro accused them of playing Rambo, capturing two former Green Berets, arresting 11 more, and killing 8 others. On the Americans, U.S. passports, VA medical cards, and expired military IDs. An American security contractor apparently sent them. Silver Corp USA tweeting to the commander-in-chief, quote, "Strike force incursion into Venezuela, 60 Venezuelan, 2 American ex-Green Beret." The group explained their operation to free Venezuela from Maduro. Now they're in his custody.
We were able to uncover this terrorist incursion.
Maduro's security forces claim they arrested Luke Denham and Aaron Berry. Fox News spoke with Luke Denham's parents. They say they have no idea how their son ended up in Venezuela and learned about an incursion yesterday from someone who served with Luke in Iraq. They say he's a sweet, caring, non-political person, and they last heard from him a couple weeks ago when he texted to see how they were weathering the coronavirus. Officials say they suspect the two carried their American documents in order to request U.S. citizen services if security forces arrested them. It's still unclear if outside groups or others opposed to Maduro prompted or bankrolled the operation.
Mike Pompeo was betting on this attack and believed that this attack would end the revolution, end the Constitution, overthrow the government, and kill me. God save us and protect us.
President Trump denied any involvement in the operation.
But it has nothing to do with our government.
The U.S. has recognized interim President Juan Guaido as Venezuela's legitimate leader. Officials in Guaido's government claim they have no relationship with Silvercorp. State Department officials say they're also investigating the role of the Maduro regime here and the Cuban intelligence apparatus that supports it. This is about a year to the day after Guaido launched his own failed attempt to try to remove Maduro from power. And just weeks ago, the U.S. government charged Maduro with drug trafficking, putting $15 million reward on him. Brett?
Rich Edson at the State Department. Rich, thanks.
All right, so I thought that was probably something you guys would want to see. Disputed Venezuela ruler remains in place. Like somehow the guy who was elected by the people of Venezuela should somehow not be, the the leader of Venezuela, because America doesn't like him. We don't like that guy. We're going to send on our mercenaries. And you guys have seen they've done nothing but fuck with Venezuela for the last 2 or 3 years, if not a whole lot longer. It just seems like they kind of upped their fucking with them a little bit since Trump took office. Like, oh, who can we fuck with? You know, not that Obama wasn't doing the same thing, because he was definitely fucking with Venezuela. So we're clear. Let's see. But I have a bunch more videos. I wanted to play that one because I was sure that you guys would want to see that in case you hadn't seen it earlier. But now is the time when we do the dabs in space. Dabs in space. That looks like some kind of space creature, right? Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Dang. Ah. Ha. Ha. I feel much better now. And this is what I keep telling you guys. It's just that easy. Are you stressed out? Are you just drawn down by life's little aches and pains, never-ending nagging? Nothing can help better than cannabis. I promise I would not try and steer you the wrong way. If it is available to you and legal, I just can't highly enough recommend it. If it is available to you and legal and you've never tried it, please, please, seriously, it's such an important part of being human. I cannot highly enough recommend it. And you guys know it's true, because I recommend it all the time. Every show is almost like it's my job. Let's see, what do we have next? Oh, okay, so I have a video about protesters being basically, this is a CNN video, right? And the CNN crews have been vilifying the protesters this entire COVID-19 episode, right? They've been like, oh, look at these people. And I have another video, not this particular one, but I have another video where they actually talk, where the commentator, Chris Cuomo, actually calls people out at a park fools. He calls them fools repeatedly because they're out and they're enjoying their lives. They're fucking fools. This is Mr. I tested positive for COVID-19 and then got caught running around out and about in the New York City area. So let me see. What was that I was talking about? Oh, yeah. The protesters. This is a CNN video. And again, they vilify the protesters. But what I want to show you is that they number one, they make clear that they're right-wing type protesters, right? And then not only do they make clear that, but they throw in like this terrorism story where like this guy's a protester. He's like, you know, an all jobs matter protester, right? And the FBI raided his home and they found pipe bombs, which my guess is that the FBI has a very, very wide definition of the phrase pipe bombs. But they found pipe bombs and all kinds of an arsenal of weapons and ammunition, which probably means what, 4 or 5 guns and a couple hundred rounds of An arsenal. But this is, again, this is what I've told you over and over again. This is what they do. This is how they vilify the protesters. The people in the street, in the proud American tradition of taking to the street and demanding that their voice be heard. The Michigan governor again and again is calling them racist. These people basically, the CNN basically equates the people going out and demanding that their voices be heard. Terrorist. And as I said, this is when we went into the streets in 2011. Under the Obama administration, and we demanded the change that we were promised. The Obama administration and his Department of Homeland Security labeled those protesters, us, potential terrorists. In the time of 9/11, in the time of, there is no potential terrorist. There is just either you're with us or you're with the terrorist, right? So they labeled them potential terrorists, and then they sent in their jackbooted thugs to bloody their heads. These beautiful people who, again, in the proud American tradition, are going into the streets and staying there and demanding their voices be heard. And they were beautiful. They had smiles on their faces, and they were all talking amongst each other. It was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And they labeled them potential terrorists in the time of 9/11, in the time of the Patriot Act, in the time of the NDAA. This is who the Obama administration is. This is who the media is. And I told you this, guys, again and again. So to see them do this to these, again, what I see as proud Americans going into the streets in the proud American tradition and demanding that their voices be heard, clearly trying to act like these are dangerous people and a threat to us all. And I was pretty sure that you would want to see that. Sounds like we're getting a little thunder.
All the protests against social distancing and stay-at-home orders have become dangerous and even now deadly. We are seeing more acts of violence as people refuse to heed public safety protocols. Listen to this. A security guard at a Family Dollar store in Flint, Michigan, was shot in the head after an argument with a shopper about wearing a face mask. The alleged gunman, who remains at large, and 2 other family members have been charged with murder. And in Michigan, police have arrested a Dollar Tree shopper who wiped his nose on the shirt of an employee who reminded him to wear a mask. Police say the man turned to the clerk and said, "Here, I will use this as a mask." He's charged with assault. In Austin, Texas, a park ranger was pushed into this lake after he tried to explain social distancing rules to a group of people at this Austin park. Look at this. That suspect is facing a state felony charge. His lawyer says he's now feeling embarrassed about what happened. And in Stillwater, Oklahoma, store employees were threatened with physical violence when they asked customers to follow a citywide order to wear masks. The backlash was so abusive, the mayor was forced to lift the face mask mandate.
If I'm going to get it, I'll get it. I feel like I may not even get it at all.
I think you should just err on the side of the precaution.
It's none of the mayor's business whether I wear a mask or not.
Doesn't end there. A Colorado man was arrested this weekend after the FBI found pipe bombs and other illegal devices in his possession. A source tells CNN he also had discussed attending a coronavirus anti-shutdown rally and openly carrying firearms as a, quote, show of force. CNN security correspondent Josh Campbell joins me now. Tell me what else you've learned about this. This is horrible.
It is, Brooke. As FBI agents executed a search on this person's house, they found a small arsenal, finding pipe bombs, gunpowder, other accessories that are used to make explosives. And when FBI agents asked the suspect what he planned to do with this material, he said he was going to use it against law enforcement officers in the event that they staged some type of entry on his home. As you mentioned, I'm also told by a law enforcement source that this suspect and a number of associates also talked about going to the state capitol there in Colorado and openly carrying firearms in a show of force, similar to what we recently saw at the Michigan State Capitol. Now, this source saying that this person shows that although you have people that are out there exercising their Second Amendment right, you never know who's around you. And as this person shows, that person could be a veritable powder keg waiting to go off. Now, this incident follows a number across the country. You just went through several of them. One police officer I talked to said that in any crisis, you're going to have bad people doing bad things to innocent people. And for the thousands of police officers, FBI agents, law enforcement officers around the country, although this remains a public health issue, for them it very much remains a public safety issue, Brooke.
Of course. And then this is all happening, as the FBI says, it's seeing a spike in gun sale background checks, right?
That's right. New data from the FBI, very interesting, indicating that the number of background checks for the sale or transfer of firearms remains high. Now, in March, we reported that the number of background checks peaked to a record-shattering level, 3.7 million background checks. Now, the number this last month is lower than that, but still higher than earlier in the year. I talked to a spokesman for the National Rifle Association who said that in this time of fear, people want to be able to protect themselves. I also talked to someone who advocates for gun violence prevention who says that argument is way off base, that the last thing that people need right now in this time of fear is to introduce a weapon into their home, Brooke.
Yeah, Josh Campbell, thank you.
So my girl joined us up down by the river. She heard lightning. She's a little upset right now. But I thought you guys want to see that. It's just one thing after another. People buying guns are bad. People, anything that has to do with freedom, anything where you are the individual expressing yourself in the way that the Constitution not just allows you, but says you have the absolute right to do. This is not that the Constitution allows this for you. It says we see these rights as self-evident. This is the way we see being top of the food chain on this planet. Understand being a sentient being who can look around him and say, hey, that doesn't seem right. We see these truths to be self-evident. You're not allowed by the Constitution to do this or that. It's because you are the top of the food chain. That you have this freedom. It's inherent. It's what it means to be top of the food chain on this planet. It's inherited. Coming here, it belonged to you. Do anything you want with it. This is your freedom as we see it. It always has been. And fuck any evildoers who say anything otherwise. And you know who that would be? All the pieces of shit in Washington, D.C. who claim to represent us. They are the evildoers. And they do it all day, every day. And they fund it being done all day, every day, all around the world, again and again and again. All day, every day. In the good name of you. In your good name. With your hard-earned tax dollars. Our country's precious, limited resources. Evil, 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 again and again and again. Why? To make already rich pieces of shit even more rich. How's that for a reason to do evil? So I can be even more rich. I told you guys again and again, You know, I don't want to trade my life for money. You know, I do what I do because I'm trying to do what's right. I don't want to trade my life. I hate the idea of trading my life for money. You know, and these evil sacks of shit who have all the money in the world already act like it's not enough and go and murder people around the world. Not just that they go and murder people, but they take good people and they send them off to murder people for them so that they can become more rich. Those are the people in charge of those are the people in control of our government. The people in our government bow down to them. Anything they say goes. Not we have to represent the people. Fuck the people. The people are meaningless in this equation. They are simply pawns to be used as cannon fodder, whether it be in the war on drugs or the war in Afghanistan. Or the surveillance state, which grows every single day to the point now where they want you to fucking sign on to it with your blood, because they want a sample of everyone's blood now, and they want you to download the app. Actually, you're not going to have to download the app. You want to know why you're not going to have to download the app? Because Google and Apple have already figured that out. And since Google and Apple are like the biggest fucking names on the planet when it comes to, telephones, they're not going to need your permission to track you every step you go and every single person you come in contact with. They've already figured it out. They got it all covered. Here, where's that? Google, where do I got that? Testing and tracking. It's all about the testing and tracking. I'll be right back, honey. There's no audio on this clip. Sorry, guys.
The Trump administration
Let's try again. Sorry about that. Do you guys want to see that one again? I had to go get my tea heated up. I was not in front of this thing. I have to make things happen off screen. That's part of the reason why I need clips, because so that we can, besides informing you, I can get my tea heated up. I need a cup of tea. If I'm going to sit here and take bong hits with you guys for 4 hours, I need a cup of tea. Don't you know? Now, should I play it again? You want to see the Tucker one? I got a good... Oh, roll it again? Are you sure? All right, we'll roll it again. No, I don't. That's too long, isn't it? It's only, what is it, like 5 minutes? I can play it again. I have some other good clips, too. We can come back to that one. But let's see. Oh, I have a clip about, I don't want to play a clip now. I just want to talk for a minute. I apologize about the clip being no audio. I don't exactly know what happened there. But I promise it won't happen again. So things happen. The other day last night I clicked on the mic to be hot. I looked at it, I went, mic is hot, and I look over again and it's not hot. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because, I'm not that stoned. I mean, I'm stoned, but I'm not that stoned. I could go for being that stoned, but I'm not that stoned. It's good. I'm good with where I'm at. It's not a thing, Although I think a bong hit sounds pretty good. You guys about ready for another bong hit? Let's see. So we could play a clip. Let's see. All my clips are so long. Oh, why are they so long? Testing and tracking. We really should play that one again. But let's see. I think this one's a little bit shorter. This will be the right amount of time to heat up the bong. I'm going to heat up the bong and get a dab ready, and then we'll figure out what to do next, okay?
The Trump administration is not allowing members of the coronavirus task force to appear before Congress without permission from White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. It issued the new guidelines Monday. Both the House and the Senate have called on Dr. Anthony Fauci to testify about the government's response to the coronavirus pandemic. The White House blocked Fauci from testifying at a House subcommittee hearing, saying he's too busy with his duties in handling the virus, but it said he would be allowed to testify before the Senate. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wrote on Twitter, "The Senate needs to hear from Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, Secretary Mnuchin. We need to know why so many small businesses have had trouble getting loans. We need to know why unemployment insurance checks are failing to get to workers. We need to know why we still don't have enough tests." Schumer told MSNBC on Monday that although the White House said Fauci could testify in front of the Senate next week, it may not follow through in allowing that. But as The Hill notes, Meadows may be more likely to allow Fauci to testify before the Senate because it's controlled by Republicans. For Newsy, I'm Caitlin Baldwin.
Senators are heading back to Capitol Hill this week with a warning from the Capitol physician. Lawmakers will be encouraged, but not required, to wear masks.
I'll wear a mask, and the reason why is because I don't do it for myself as much as I do it for others, right? Those masks are there to protect others, and I want to set the example.
But the advanced age of some lawmakers in the 116th Congress places them at higher risk of getting seriously ill from the coronavirus. According to the CDC, people 65 and older are at higher risk for severe illness. And the average age within the Senate, nearly 63 years old.
So when you have any sort of disease that is spread by personal contact, and that tends to, as far as we know right now, have a much more severe impact on older people, and your legislature skews towards older people, you have a recipe for either the House and Senate having a potentially large number of hospitalizations or deaths or serious infections.
Of the 100 U.S. senators, 49 are 65 or older, and 6 are 80 or over. Dianne Feinstein and Chuck Grassley are the oldest members at 86. Back in March, 57-year-old Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky and 2 representatives tested positive for the coronavirus, sending dozens of other lawmakers into quarantine. Now back in the chamber, the Capitol's top doc telling leadership they don't have enough tests for all 100 senators. Lawmakers and staffers are expected to self-monitor and will only be tested if they show symptoms, with results expected to take at least 2 days. President Trump offering access to testing kits that give rapid results, only to be turned down in a rare joint statement from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. They say resources should instead be directed to, quote, frontline facilities where they can do the most good the most quickly. To minimize the risk, many senators are flying solo, leaving staff working from home.
I personally am keeping all my staff continuing to work from home. Obviously, the staff in D.C. is living in Virginia, Maryland, and the district where there are still very strict requirements, where schools are not open. So our staff is not coming back. I'll just have one person there with me.
Meanwhile, the House side empty for now. 7 members have tested positive, and Speaker Pelosi announced the chamber will stay home at least another week. Reporting for Newsy, I'm Nathaniel Reed.
The Treasury Department said Monday it expects to borrow a record $2.999 trillion during the current April to June fiscal quarter. The Treasury said in a statement Monday the huge sum is needed to fund the various federal relief efforts taken to help the economy through the coronavirus pandemic. It also said the borrowing is needed to cover expected shortages in revenue due to this year's tax deadline being pushed back from April to July. For perspective, the nearly $3 trillion amount is more than 5 times larger than the previous single quarter borrowing record set during the 2008 financial crisis. It's also more than double what the government borrowed for all of last year. The Treasury also said it expects to borrow an additional $677 billion during the upcoming July to September quarter. For Newsy, I'm Josh Kransberg.
Oh, that's not the one. This one. Now we do the dabs in space. Merchar. Wow, it's fucking hot, man. My arm's like a foot above that thing. It's still fucking hot. Hot, hot, hot. Way too hot. Mitchell, you're so fucking funny. It works on so many different levels, right? It reminds me of your censored what do you call it? All right. Wow. All right. So, in case you're wondering, this is a call-in show. It's anyone's welcome to call. The number is 805-669-6397. That's 805 Mox News. So, operators are standing by. Please feel free to call anytime. We can discuss whatever you like. Now, the title of the show is about China threatening war. Oh, hello. 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 Hello, caller.
is Joe. Joe, the goddamn Tiger King.
What's up, Joe?
Oh, shit, just hanging out here in prison and shit. Hey, I've been hanging out with Nicholas motherfucking Cage and shit. No shit. I'm telling you. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Is Nick Cage in prison again?
No, he came and fucking, he made a special visit. He needed to get you. He needed to get he needed to get a special interview with me and sit down and really get to know the Joe. So they can really portray him, because he's going to make a movie about me. And he's going to play the main character, which is the Joe, the Tiger King. Joe Exotic. Everybody loves tigers. You know that? Everybody loves tigers. And then currently, I am actually thinking about...
Is Nicolas Cage gay?
He told me not to tell. He told me not to tell.
Because, I mean...
Okay, we got to keep this shit on the DL.
If he's hetero, then doesn't that offend you that they want a hetero actor to play you?
Are you listening here, motherfucker? I'm trying to get out of the fucking jail, okay? I don't give a shit if you're hetero, or metro, or sexual, or metrosexual, or non-sexual, or bisexual, or, Mexican. Hey, happy motherfucking... Happy Cinco de Mayo and shit. Fucking Mexicans love tigers. Straight people love tigers. Aliens even love tigers. I'm telling you. You don't think aliens love tigers? Aliens love tigers. We're gonna send a goddamn fucking tiger into space to give the aliens a real legit gift when I get the fuck out of here and I win the presidency, because I'm actually going to run for president. Well, I run for goddamn governor and shit. That fucking goddamn bitch! Girl! Fucking bastard and shit! The stupid fucking bitch! Fucking around for me! Fucking kill down there! Fucking kill me! Big fucking idiot! But I got Netflix! And I got Nicolas the Cage on my side! Shit! Go, Donald Trump! You gotta get the fuck out of here! Go! Cardi B! Right now! Go to the fucking bitch! Go to that stupid fucking goddamn bitch!
All right, Joe. All right, Joe. He hung up. I don't know why. Apparently, he was going to have a coughing spasm and didn't want to make us all sit through that. And there's my girl. She came in when there was thunder. So, she looks like she's doing good, but I don't know where my Boo Bear is. But she looks like she's doing good. So, I hate it when there's the thunder, because then they get all trembly. The trembly thing kind of freaks me out, man. Get all like, shit! Okay, so... I was talking about China again. The title of this show is that China has threatened, hostilities with America, the United States. It's really, they're threatening that there's going if the United States doesn't pull their head out of their ass and stop fucking talking nonsense, apparently. So I thought you guys should see that video. Did I play that video already? I didn't play that video, did I? Did I play that video? I don't think, no, I didn't play that one. But I can play it for you now. Because I thought this was important. That's why I titled the video this way. And again, China doesn't threaten. Threatening something that little man does. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna get you. You don't threaten. Threaten goes nowhere. Barking dogs don't bite or whatever. You don't threaten. China doesn't threaten. China says, we're warning you. This is your last warning. China's not to be fucked with. So I don't know, I don't know why it's like they keep poking China with a stick, man. This whole Trump presidency has just been like, let's jab China again. Let's jab China again. Meanwhile, the Democrats are like, jab Russia, jab Russia. Meanwhile, the Russians and the Chinese are building this whole, beltway, it's going to connect a whole lot of commerce. I don't think this is a good plan. And not that we can't say what we want about China. It's just that, when there's no reason to be hostile to China. It's not like China doesn't want to work with us to make happen whatever. I mean, China invited the United States to be part of the Belt and Road Initiative, right? Which is this big worldwide thing that they're building commerce everywhere. And the United States, no, fuck you. Because they're petty. They're petty little bitches. Like, no, if we want to do that, we'll start an initiative around the world. Fuck you. We don't want to do that. It's so stupid. You keep your friends close, your enemies closer. Why wouldn't you fucking just be in wholeheartedly? Sure. How can we get our fingers all in this everywhere? How doesn't that benefit you to get your CIA garbage spies everywhere? It's just so short-sighted. Say, no, fuck you and your Belt and Road Initiative. That's a stupid name. We don't want anything to do with that. Poke China, poke China, poke China. Like it doesn't matter. I don't like this, and I'm not bought into that this virus originated in China in any way, shape, or form. I am not committed to that. Just so you guys know.
New intelligence from several key U.S. allies appears to contradict claims by President Trump and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo that the coronavirus originated in a Chinese laboratory. U.S. allies, including the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, are sharing intelligence that it is unlikely the virus came from a lab in Wuhan and is likely a natural transfer from animals to humans. Add to that now, Dr. Anthony Fauci saying in a new interview with National Geographic that the scientific evidence also leads him to believe that the virus did not originate in a lab. Josh Rogan is a foreign policy columnist for The Washington Post and a CNN political analyst. So, Josh, good to see you. As Fauci rejects this theory, you have the president, as I mentioned, and his Secretary of State floating this, despite the intelligence they have reportedly had behind the scenes.
Right. There are a lot of conflicting, confusing reports out there, but I think I can make sense of them all for you right now. So when administration officials talk about the evidence pointing to a lab accident theory, not a bioweapon accident theory, they're referring to a circumstantial case mostly based on open source evidence, not spy stuff, just things we know. That case is based on the fact that the closest virus to the one that's making us sick came from this Wuhan lab. We know that the safety concerns about the lab dated back to 2018. The Chinese government destroyed the samples, refused to allow experts, etc. Now, when the intel community leaks that they have found no evidence to support that, that's true, but it simply means they can't confirm through secret means what we are all seeing publicly that's raising our suspicions. They can't confirm the seafood market theory either, by the way. It basically means they don't know squat, okay, either way. It's a circumstantial case on both sides. So both things can be true. Trump officials believe it was a lab accident. The intel community can't confirm it, and everybody's leaking to everybody, so everyone's confused.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate how you laid it out. Meantime, China.
Said,
yeah. Fauci was pouring cold water on it.
Yeah, Fauci said it wasn't a man-made virus, okay? He didn't say it wasn't a lab accident. He said he didn't think it was a lab accident, and if it was, it came from nature anyway. But even if it came from nature and then went to the lab and then escaped, we need to know that, okay? The big question out there that no one can answer is how did from Yunnan, which is 1,000 miles away, to Wuhan, right? Either the bat flew 1,000 miles, or bit an animal that walked 1,000 miles, or they collected it, brought it to Wuhan, and then it escaped. One of those three things has to be true.
Okay. China's getting, just quickly, Josh, China's getting, aggressive in its rhetoric, even warning of possible armed conflict with the U.S. Is this just total bluster?
Yeah, well, this was based on an internal paper written by a Chinese think tank that's associated with the government. It doesn't represent the Chinese government's view per se, but there's a risk here that the worst case scenarios on both sides could become self-fulfilling prophecies if the hardliners take control of the policy. So, we shouldn't get too alarmed, but just the fact that they're even discussing this shows you how bad U.S.-China relations are. And I think both the U.S. and China have a responsibility to step back from the brink and figure out how we can work together, because it'll take both of us not only to get through this pandemic, but to have a U.S.-China relationship that doesn't result in the conflict.
Josh Rogan, smart analysis as always. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you.
And recognize at the beginning of this segment, they're both like laughing and chuckling basically about potential war with China, about whether this was created in a lab or whether it wasn't created in a lab. All the intel agencies say this wasn't created in a lab, and blah blah blah. I mean, why doesn't CNN do any investigative journalism? Why do they just get all their information from the intel agencies, right? Can't they kind of research things at all? They never say our research leads us to believe. Never. So the Pentagon tells us, or the intel agencies all agree. How about a little bit of independence from your fucking... It's so obvious that this is the government-sponsored news, right? And anybody who thinks that they're against Donald Trump, I think is incorrect, because in my opinion, they've been trying to get Donald Trump reelected. The only purpose of putting Joe Biden in that position could be to get Donald Trump reelected, unless they intend on replacing him before the actual election, or right after the election he has some kind of episode and has to be replaced. Oh, look, Joe had a stroke, or his brain's just not working right. Yes, I've been saying that for 2 years about Joe Biden. His brain is not working correctly. It's unfortunate. I'm not trying to make fun of him. It's the facts. I don't know what's happening. You go ahead. Okay, I need to fix this page. I can't see what's happening here. All right, that is not what I want. Let's see, can we get that back? Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I asked you to do it in the first place. Anyway, China war, the China thing is, I just think that it's a really, really bad plan to keep poking China like it doesn't matter that we keep poking China. I think that, you know, whose interest is this in? You know, who is it that that helps us? You know, how does this help the working class people? Right? Because that's what the government is supposed to be there for. To help the everyday man. Actually, it's supposed to be there to protect our freedom. That's what they swear an oath to when they become a member of Congress, when they become the president or the vice president. They swear an oath to protect our freedom. And I don't see that happening. You know, I don't know how anyone could possibly see that happening, right? And it's really unfortunate because it seems like it's not that difficult. If you weren't doing evil, it would be simple to protect our freedoms. It would be simple to say, no, this is against the Constitution, that's against the Constitution. The media, working in cahoots with the Pentagon is clearly doing evil. You know, we have to stop this, and we have to make a clear line of divide between them. And in fact, the Congress, working against the people's best interest, did the exact opposite. And passed a law saying it's just fine for mainstream media to spread all the Pentagon propaganda, military-industrial complex propaganda that they want. Just fine. And it's no longer criminal. We do not recognize, because it's considered an international war crime. The people in our mainstream media are actual international war criminals around the world. And I wish when they would travel, some people would try harder to put fucking handcuffs on them. Because the people in this U.S. mainstream media working directly with the Pentagon should have handcuffs on them. Because they're certainly not in the interest of the people, as they say. I am going to play another video for you, and Craig is trying to tell me something. I'm going to go find out what he's trying to tell me, and I will be right back. Social distancing while hiking. I thought that was a pretty cool video.
It didn't take long for parking lots and trailheads to fill up this morning. Dozens of state parks and outdoor recreation areas opened for the first time since the governor issued his stay-home order in March. KENMO's Michelle Esteban checked out one of the most popular trails in North Bend. She's live from the base of Mount Si. How busy was it, Michelle?
Oh, Mary, you would not believe it. You know, the governor said outdoor recreation is really good for folks, and they definitely agree because they showed out and showed up today. And I have to tell you that one of the things that you'll really notice is hiking is different right now. In fact, a lot of hikers who come out here, they know to come with their 10 essentials, right? All of the safety gear that they need, water, extra food. But they're also coming out with what I like to call the 11th essential, this protective gear, right? A mask. We saw a lot of this today. Take a look. You have to social distance even in the backcountry, and people are doing that in different ways. We found a number of hikers who wore face masks the entire way up and down today, and we found hikers who also packed hand sanitizer. Not a bad idea. The governor's website links to a number of tips for if you're going to be in parks and in the backcountry, and that was indeed suggested. Stick with the hand sanitizer. The other thing that you're going to hear is hiking etiquette taken to a whole new level. In addition to yielding to the person coming up the trail so they can pass, hikers are yielding and, when possible, stepping 6 feet off the trail for safe passage. Other tips: if you get to a trailhead and it's packed, then, like it was here at Little Si, consider picking another trail, or you can circle the lot like Sid did, waiting for a parking space to open.
Understandable, but they got the overload parking lot down there, so
hopefully there's a spot there.
Everybody was pretty respectful of each other, and they would stay clear of each other, move to one side of the trail as you passed. It was really nice up there. I think everyone was very respectful.
I heard that over and over again, and right now there are about 100 state parks and properties open. We put the list on our website for you. Also, DNR conservation lands open too, just like here at Mount Si. Another big change, areas that normally permit overnight camping, that is an absolute no-go. The only park usage that you can take advantage of hiking is for day use only. And Mary, I've got to say, you know, what we all want to see are those case numbers come down and everything open up as we remember it prior to COVID. But in order for that to happen, people really have to adhere to social distancing. And if they don't, if we see a surge in cases, then the governor made it really clear he's going to close down the parks again. Mary?
Michelle, what about the big draws like Mount Rainier? Any updates on those parks?
Yeah, we checked for you. In fact, of course, they're so popular, right? And that's probably the reason why they're closed. A lot of the national parks from Mount Baker to Mount Rainier are closed. And I think part of that is those are tourist draws. They're draws for folks who live here. But also, the governor made it really clear, if you're going to go out, head somewhere close to home. Rainier, for many of us, is a 2 or 3 hour drive unless you're lucky enough to live at the foot of that beautiful mountain. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Esteban, Como News.
Looks beautiful behind you there, Michelle. Thank you very much.
Hey, okay, so we're back, and let's see. Craig was telling me that he's working on a Skype call from our buddy Drunk Pete. So, hey, Drunk Pete.
Hey.
How are you tonight, my brother?
Good, brother. How are you doing?
I am good. I am properly medicated. What are you cooking? Did I see you cooking something there?
Huh?
I thought I saw you cooking something.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't want to spoil the surprise, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't spoil the surprise then.
Can you see me?
I can see you. Can you see me?
You see me on the screen? All right, cool. What do you think of my hat, bro? Tight?
It's a very nice looking hat.
Is
it suede or what's it made out of?
I don't know, but it's fucking ballin', right?
Yeah, I have one like that that's made out of. I have one like that that's made out of hemp.
Yeah, I'm feeling very like Indiana Jones, you know. Hey, check this shit out, bro. Check this shit out. What's up?
Is that what is that?
Oh, you know what that is, son.
Is that a thermometer?
Oh, yes, it is.
What was sitting on top?
That's a weight to keep it from moving around.
Oh, okay. It dances in there, huh?
Oh, it loves to dance.
Does that have butter in it?
Yes, I get it. Hot, hot, hot.
Does it have butter in it?
Oh, of course, buddy. It's got that green gold sauce.
Oh, it's got the... Oh, you're cooking the coconut oil, right?
That's that danka-danka-doo. Look at that.
Did you already strain the green out?
Oh, no, I'm still cooking it. I'm almost on 5 hours, bro.
How much green is in there?
An ounce.
Really? Wow.
There's an ounce in there.
I would never have guessed that.
And almost a cup and a half of coconut oil.
Nice.
Yeah, bro, that shit's gonna be bomb as fuck.
What strain?
I don't know, but it looked fucking hairier than my ball bag, I'll tell you that. I had some Skittles last week that was unbelievable. Nice. This actually looked even better. It was very powdery.
Oh, excellent.
You know, lots of crystals, so that's a good sign. So
frosty. We like to describe that as frosty.
Bro, it was some frosted motherfucking flakes. It's like if you dip my balls in like some snow in January. That's what those buds look like.
Frosty.
Oh, it's great. Fantastic.
So, how was your skateboarding this weekend?
It was great. It was fantastic. It's the season is coming back, so you can expect me to have lots of injuries. I'm sure I'll be filling people in on that. I'm still recovering from last year. As you can see, my fucking elbow's still scarred.
Huh.
All that shit. My wrist is still scarred.
Ooh, that
shit?
looks a little rough.
I fell down a hill going like 30 miles an hour on a skateboard.
Oh, you're too old for that, Pete.
I hill bombed. Yeah, I can't do that shit no more. I'm too old.
I mean, no offense or anything. I'm just trying to look out for you, bro.
Don't tell me what to do, Mike. I'm a free man. I will skate until I die, sir.
Fuck yeah. Are you? Was there a lot of people out where you were skating?
No, not really. But there was the week before because that was the first nice day we've had of the year, and it was like everyone got out from the COVID. Like I told you, it was like a fucking Rolling Stones concert. It was fucking crazy.
Nice. I think I think Craig said we had video of Steve McClanahan at a car wash with girls in bikinis, and that he was asking them to say "My cock for president" or something like that. I wish we could see that video.
I feel like you might have been bullshit. That might have been some fake news, Mike. I don't know.
That Steve McClanahan does have a bit of imagination.
He's quite a bit of fake news, that fellow. I don't know. I think he's a little full of shit. I don't trust him, Mike.
It's hard to trust anybody these days, Pete.
No, but Fauci's a good guy, right? I'm never going to live that one down, am I?
It's just these evil doers are just, they're pushing us to our limits, man.
I'm telling you, man, people are not buying this shit. I've been very happy to see the resilience of people, like, just fed up with this shit at this point. Because at first everyone was cautious, and everyone's already fed up with this shit. You were talking the other day about like, bitching about wearing a face mask. Like, you think it's going to jump from a face mask to the tracking app where all of a sudden your phone flashes yellow because you're standing next to someone. Dude, that shit is never, ever going to fucking happen in this country. Fucking ever. There is going to be blood in the fucking streets before that ever fucking happens.
Google and Apple say they're ready to go on it, man.
Well, when it starts to become a mandatory thing, I'm telling you, there's going to be blood and fire in the fucking streets. So
well, when they start saying you have to have a green light on your phone to come in the store, and you don't even have the app, people are going to go, get out of my way.
It's never going to happen, dude.
Never going to happen. That's true because Costco is turning away people who pay money to shop there because they don't have a face mask.
I know, Mike. I know you were very upset by that. Hey, guess what, dude? If I owned a convenience store right now, I would be like, you bet your motherfucking ass you come into my motherfucking store, you're wearing a fucking face mask. And if you're not, I'll tell you to take a fucking hike.
Yeah, well, it's your store, I guess.
Yeah. And if I was a cashier at Costco and you weren't wearing a face mask, I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'd be kind of pissed,
I don't have
man.
my bird box. I forgot.
Well, whatever. It's your life. It's your life. Live it how you want.
It's essential. They're the only reason they're open is because they're essential. I'm here to get... Okay, if I have to have a face mask, then you better be giving me a fucking face mask at the fucking door.
Costco, of all places, should give you a fucking face mask. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. You turn me away when I'm paying to shop there, when I have to have a membership to go in and have a fucking hot dog. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a valid point. Those cheap fuckers. They haven't raked us over the fucking coals enough.
Oh, that is a hell of a shot. Steve McClanahan is definitely quite the photographer. There is the car wash with one of the young ladies wearing a Mock News t-shirt and holding a My Cock for President postcard. Very nice, Steve. Excellent work. And I love the background.
He's the only person that we can trust in, people. He's the only candidate that we can put our faith in. Is Mike Hawk, and I will give you the Clinton thumb. Mike Hawk is the only candidate that you can trust for president. Okay? Let us not make any mistake about it.
So, what did you have for dinner tonight, Pete?
What did I have for dinner? I had some fucking fried chicken.
Oh, good. I was worried you were going to say 2 hurricanes or something.
No, paper planes. Paper planes. It's gone now. But yeah, this Elijah Craig bourbon whiskey and fried chicken.
Nice. Well, fried chicken sounds pretty darn good. I actually have been craving fried chicken, but I barbecued chicken this afternoon, so I'm pretty good too.
Yo, shout out Michelle with the Stubbs barbecue sauce. That's what's up. You want some good, cheap, over-the-counter fucking barbecue sauce, you go with the Stubbs. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right on. I don't really use barbecue sauce. I just use a little rub and some olive oil and a little bit of soy sauce.
Right on, right on. Mike, Mother's Day is coming up. Is your mother still alive? You gonna go see your mom?
No, my mom died.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
It's okay.
Well, guess what?
People die. It's what they do.
I didn't mean to bum you out, but yeah, guess what? I'm still gonna see my motherfucking mother. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Well, that's really good, Pete. I'm glad you're going to see your mother. Are you gonna go make her dinner?
I gotta see my mama. I gotta see my mama.
You gonna make her dinner?
Can't leave mama hanging right now. Huh?
Gonna make her dinner?
No. I wouldn't insult her like that. She can cook way better than anything I ever done, bro.
Yeah, but it's Mother's Day. You don't want her to have to cook on Mother's Day.
She knows me, bro. I can't cook for a fucking lick. So.
Oh well, that's too bad. Sorry to hear that.
She would be insulted if I tried to cook for her. She'd be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
You remember that there used to be a Saturday Night Live sketch where it was like Nick something, the computer guy. And he'd come in.
Oh yeah.
And he'd go like,
who the fuck was that?
Do this and this and this and this, and the guy would go, what? And he said, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. Who was that? Jimmy Fallon? That fucking cocksucker? That drunken prick. God bless him.
I think it might have been Adam Sandler.
No, I think it was Chris Kattan. Chris Kattan and Jimmy Fallon. Someone look it up. Craig, get on it. Come on, Craig. I see all those screens behind you.
Wait, we have a caller. Hello, caller.
He's giving me the 1 minute thing.
Steve McClanahan calling Trump Pete.
Steve!
You got a problem? Pete? You don't think you can trust this guy, ladies and gentlemen, for president of the United States of America? George Pete?
Hey.
Do I need to try to get your vote currently right now?
Hey, Steve?
No. You know what? I'm mad. I'm actually a little mad. I showed up, trying to get people's votes, and all of a sudden this chick, she has a fucking t-shirt on. She's holding my cock in her hand, and I'm not mine, but this other fucking hawk. This is bullshit. Okay, I'm pissed. Okay, I'm trying to get an endorsement, and I'm fucking really running a legit campaign. This shit.
Steve, Steve, why are you mad? Why are you mad, Steve?
Hairs. I'm getting gray hairs on my fucking head already. Currently running for president of the United States of fucking America, ladies gentlemen, Drunk Pete, he's calling me out, fucking saying, you know, you can't trust that fucking guy. Well, you know what?
Well, you are quite imaginative, Steve.
Steve, no.
You know what? I tell you what.
Steve cannot be trusted.
Do
not vote for Steve McClanahan.
You know what?
He cannot be trusted. This man has an agenda, and he is not looking out for the American people. I will assure you that.
Myself, I need to
do not be fooled by Steve McClanahan, people.
Rage and stuff over a bunch of nonsense, and currently, I am still fired up. I'm pissed off. I'm trying to get the voters out there to fucking vote for me and shit. People are pissed off in America. You know, we're trying to bring new life back to the Democratic Party.
Hey, Steve. I really like that picture. Thanks for the picture.
Currently here in America.
Steve, you're full of shit.
In America.
You have a really good Steve. You have a really good eye. You should take more pictures. You have a really good eye.
You know what? You have beautiful eyes.
Uh-huh.
So does Drunk Pete, especially when he's drunk. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen.
Especially when you're drunk.
Eyes.
Especially when you're
Beautiful
drunk.
Eyes. Is Drunk Pete there? Drunk Pete, are you there currently?
Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you. What do you want to fucking say? Tell me something.
I think, Steve, I think I like you, and I think
you don't defecate enough. You should eat more fiber currently. Another question. Go. Shoot.
I got guns, bitch.
Where did you get your hat from? Where did you get your tinfoil hat from? Pete. Go.
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
You want to know where you got your hat?
Is that, Steve, I don't necessarily trust your agenda, because I think you may have two identities. I don't know if people really know about this. I don't know if I really want to do the expert. Are you going to let me talk, or are you going to keep talking?
You know, an itinerary. Do you have an itinerary? Because I do not have a fucking itinerary currently anymore. After today, currently, ladies and gentlemen, doing it live. Whether you like it or not, keeping a positive attitude. And, yeah, everything's great. Drunk Pete. You know, Drunk Pete, I gotta tell you what. One of my favorite movies out there in the world is goddamn Fifth Element. I love that movie.
What's your favorite aspect of the Fifth Element, Steve?
Lilu and shit.
Well,
you know?
What's not to like? And Supreme Being.
Flying fucking cars are pretty legit. And then Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, that guy. I tell you what, Bruce Willis fucking, you know, just keeping it cool and shit. Out there in the fucking goddamn, like, you know, universe and shit with flying cars.
I thought he was way better in Pulp Fiction as that boxer.
Fucking Bruce Willis is like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Even Sixth Sense was better than that bullshit.
Oh, shit! This chick fucking fell into the back of my car. Currently.
You know what? This is bullshit. You know what? Shut the fuck up, Steve. You're full of fucking shit. You're a fucking shyster and a fucking liar.
Bada boom.
You have two identities, and you're not being honest about it. You're like fucking Hillary Clinton. You try to act like you're one person and you're really not. You're a fucking shyster, Steve. You're a shyster. You need to fucking come clean right now. Trying to run for president. You're a fucking manipulator. You're a goddamn manipulator.
Bada boom.
Big bada boom. Big bada boom.
What's up, Steve?
We
see through your fucking facade.
Get the fuck out of the spaceship, motherfucker. And then Bruce Willis, he turns, he looks back at Lilu and her fucking little orange hair and shit, and then he's like, oh no, fuck this shit. He smokes like half a cigarette with the giant fucking butt on it and shit. You can't even oh Jesus Christ, regulating cigarettes. Oh my God. Fucking smoke just like, he just lit it up real quick and shit, and he was just like, little girl, and he just fucking floored it into the underworld, beneath the clouds, to the dark.
Yeah, I want a cigarette.
What a great movie, huh?
That's what. Fuck it, it's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
It's an amazing, one of the best fucking films.
Work of art. It's fucking brilliant.
In my life. One of the greatest that I've ever had out there. I was on a desert island. I had that fucking movie. I've had it in a helicopter. I've had it in India. I fucking had it in Afghanistan. Fucking Iraqi. I fucking had it in with the Queen. Me and the Queen. We fucking go out and watch this movie. I'm telling you. Changing the world one life at a time. Steve Clanahan is running for president of the United States of America currently. And I tell you what, you know who my fucking VP might be? Do you know who the vice president of the United States might be?
When?
The fucking blue chick from Fifth Element. I'm looking into, she's still alive, for sure. And she is actually a space alien ranger chick, you know? Don't be racist against her, people, okay? It's time, you know, that we have a real, legitimate VP from another world.
Steve, I haven't
How about
understood
that?
a goddamn thing you said this whole time.
All right, Steve.
I repeat, you know what? You're deaf.
All right, Steve. Thanks for the photo. That was awesome.
I thought you guys did.
Hey, you know what?
I thought I
You
was just having
motherfuckers
technical
need to vote
difficulties.
for Steve motherfucking McClanahan because we're legalizing THC tranquilizer darts for all. Okay? And then, you know what? And then we're going to keep the fucking Democratic Party alive because...
We're not keeping the Democratic Party alive. We're going to fucking kill it and bury it in the fucking ground.
That would be really
and replace
nice.
it with no party at fucking all. We're going to replace it with people that have fucking their own individual ideas.
I've been trying to tell people that parties are bad forever. You know, everybody's out there trying to party and shit.
Well, why don't you make that
and I'm
your
like, hey
party
guys,
platform, Steve?
literally just stop the partying. And they don't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to me ever.
Well, Steve, you know what? Now you do have my vote.
What are you doing?
Now
You're
you do have
having
my
fun shit. You have parties and you fucking have your opinions and your fucking dumbass bullshit. You need a one world government. You need to be like China. At least China doesn't spit all over their fucking sidewalks walking into a gas station, spewing fucking massive amounts of chew on the fucking sidewalks, defecating on their streets in front of businesses.
All right, Steve.
They would be executed. They would be executed.
Again, Steve, I really appreciate the picture, man. You have a really good. You should take more pictures, dude. You have
She's
an
not
excellent
even that
life.
hot. Big fucking deal.
I'm fucking telling you.
It's the background, dude.
If you heard from Super Bullshitron, you tell that
Oh shit! I didn't
motherfucker
even see the
to go fuck himself. Because he's a little bitch. He won't call me. He won't even fucking call me.
Yeah, well, he's got his issues. He was crying last night.
He's got a lot of issues. He's super bullshit clearly all the time.
He was crying. He was crying and whining last night. It was horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was horrible.
See? That's what I'm saying. He's a fucking little bitch. I tell you what, fuck. Hey, Super Bullshitron, if you're listening, get off the computer. Get off the fucking internet and fucking go save fucking day. All right, I gotta go.
All right, Steve. Good to hear from you. Thanks for the photo.
Hey, Trophy.
Keep up the good work.
Fuck you. Fuck it all up.
Fuck you, Steve. Suck my dick, faggot. He's not being honest with people, Mike. That's what's pissing me off. He's not telling people. He's not being honest about who the fuck he is.
Yeah, but who in the media is?
That's his shtick. People don't understand he has an alternative identity. Some people may know who this alternative identity is if they're familiar with the show.
What's in the pump bottle?
This is my hand sanitizer that I am making that I fucking spend goddamn 50 hours a fucking week making this bullshit. If I make one more batch of fucking hand sanitizer, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Well,
Sick
you
of
gotta
this
do what you
shit.
gotta do, Pete.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm fucking spending like fucking 50 hours a fucking week working on this shit, and I'm stressed the fuck out. I'm tired of it. But you know what? We need it. We need the fucking hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I'm too fucking busy doing this shit. You know that I'm not paying enough attention to enough things as closely as I should be. So I'm getting attacked by people like Killer Mike, our friend Killer Mike, who called in. Let's not forget about Killer Mike. Old fucking cunty, pretentious, judgmental old prick.
Hey, be nice. Come on. That was a one night thing. We both, you guys both had your issues, and it's done now.
I'm still dwelling on it.
Let's not forget, I have an apology letter from you, so put your cock away.
I'm allowed
Put
to
your
be
cock
wrong
away.
every
I have
now
an
and
apology letter from you in the email. Don't make me show it that you wrote in and said how
I'm not dwelling on it. I'm not dwelling on it.
I'm saying I'm dwelling on it. I'm still mad about it. That this motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm fucking working 50 hours a fucking week so that people have hand sanitizer. I don't have time to research shit about Fauci. I'm sorry, Killer Mike. I'm not as informed as you are. I'm not a fucking retired boomer. I don't have all the time in the world to fucking research shit. You fucking cunts. Ugh.
All right. I gotta go get a break, Pete. It's good to see you, man.
Praise Allah. I'll let you know how this batch goes.
Okay, cool. Talk to you soon. Bye. There's my girl. She looks like she's still feeling the thunder a little bit. She's a little panty at the moment. Little panty. But I have a couple videos left. I'm going to play the one about testing and tracking again because the volume was off when I played it before. And I want you guys to hear what it's saying. So, because this is what I've said over and over again. This is what it's all about. And Apple, apparently Apple and Google are saying that they're ready to go on the tracking right now. So that seems like valuable information for you guys to have, and that's what we are all about when it comes to the news clips.
Dozens of states shifting their coronavirus approach, at least 13 lifting stay-at-home orders and reopening business in phases. But infection counts keep climbing.
There are regions that can reopen sooner because they are low prevalence, but no region should open without the testing capacity ramped up so they can do the testing and the tracing required to reopen.
The White House suggests before states even enter a phase 1 reopening, they need to see 14 days of a downward trajectory in case counts, including for influenza-like illnesses. But in states like Florida, Texas, and Georgia, that's not happening, even as they ease restrictions. The New York Times analysis of case counts in those states shows none have logged 14 days of continued slowing. In Texas and Georgia, the 7-day average is on the steady climb.
It's not to say that there aren't parts of Georgia that you could have slowly opened up, but by having the entire state being sort of released from a regulatory apparatus that was keeping people contained, it does raise concerns that it's just going to start spreading again.
The president has slammed tight restrictions, including ones in line with guidance from his own task force. He's pushing for phased reopening.
I think most of the numbers are coming down. We're on the right side of it, but we want to keep it that way. But we also want to get back to work. The people want to get back to work.
Experts say effective restarts rely on testing.
A lot of people misunderstand this issue about testing. I think people think testing is all about diagnosing people so we can treat them. And in this case, that is just not the case. What we want to be doing is finding out that you've been infected before you even have symptoms. And the best way we can do that is by finding you in the community, testing you quickly, and isolating you before you've started to spread.
Data from Apple shows movement is picking back up in states where restrictions are loosening. Those measures coming with requirements for social distancing, face masks, and limits on the number of people in one place.
This is all something that's affecting us as well economically.
Dr. Hala Sabri is an emergency medicine physician in Southern California, east of Los Angeles.
A lot of people have like this pinning idea that if you are for social distancing, you somehow are not affected by the economy demise right now. And that's not true.
California's governor has laid out plans for reopening and is allowing some elective surgeries to resume. But so far, the state's stay-at-home order remains.
I want to say many days, not weeks, as long as we continue to be prudent and thoughtful.
And the more that we have this modified normal, if everybody can get on that, I do think that we can do this safely. I think we can open up the economy and be out in public safely. But I just don't see that happening because people they already don't respect kind of the disease process and the devastation that it's happening because they just don't believe it.
Experts warn without following a phased, data-driven reopening, cases could spike again, potentially meaning an even more devastating economic impact.
From the beginning, the one thing I've said is that the only thing worse than a long shutdown is 2 long shutdowns.
And there are still 1,000 to 2,000 Americans dying every day from COVID-19. Even with restrictions in place.
I think that we need to consistently remind ourselves that it's not about me. It's not about my daughter. It's not about my husband. It's about the people who are fighting for their lives in the hospital right now.
James Packard, Newsy, Chicago.
Apple and Google have developed a COVID-19 tracking system that would alert people if they've been in contact with the virus, but they'll ban the use of location tracking in apps that use it. On Monday, Apple and Google released new details about the joint Exposure Notification API software. It can be used in iOS or Android apps that would alert people if they have been in contact with someone who has tested positive for the coronavirus. The feature will be optional to use. The company said the data would be collected using Bluetooth every 10 to 15 minutes so it can avoid GPS tracking. Privacy advocates previously raised concerns about the feature possibly revealing the identities of infected people or leading to false self-diagnosis. Around the world, the software will only be available for one official app per country, but local governments in the U.S. can decide how they would like to use it. For Newsy, I'm Antoinette Miller.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
There's my girl. I have a nice fresh cup of tea. Super hot. I was gonna heat up the bong. I have a dab ready to go. Right here. If you can almost make it out. And we will puff that momentarily. So get your bongs ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. I have a couple more videos here for you. I have a fucking tiger.
And the
video,
zoo scare caught on camera in Dublin. 7-year-old Sean was posing for a picture in front of an animal enclosure when a full-size Siberian tiger lunges at the glass. The family says Sean was startled, but they are just grateful for the glass safety window. All right.
And we have, Let's see, protesters, terrorists, we saw that one. We did the testing and tracking. The Google and the Apple are ready to go, so they're probably not going to need permission. It's just going to be like they take over, and you just have your green light when you go to enter the store. Got the green light where you don't, and if you don't, there's like wah 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 wah. I have a Tucker video where he's talking about the hypocrisy of these leaders who are locking everything down and saying that you have to stay at home. Meanwhile, they're going out and they're getting their hair done and they're getting their Botox done, and they're telling you that you all have to wear masks, and meanwhile they're sitting next to people that aren't wearing masks and they're not wearing masks. It's a very good video. Have that ready to go. I have something about food shortages. Washington State is phasing in the reopening of the state. Phasing in. I told you this is going to be the phrase, phasing in. It talks about dog walkers in this video, and it's really weird because it talks about dog walkers like it's this huge profession in Washington, in Seattle, in the Seattle area. I got the impression, and I had no idea that there were this many people making their living off of walking a dog in Seattle. So I thought you guys would want to see that. So it's got a couple of cute close up to doggies on it, so we'll play that for you now.
Today marks the start of phase 1 of reopening Washington State. Let's get to the numbers. The U.S. death toll now stands at more than 70,000, and the total number of cases continues to climb higher. Right now, we're at about 1.2 million cases.
Here in Washington, using numbers from the Department of Health as well as reports from various counties, at least 862 people have died in our state. That's up 21 from yesterday. Statewide, there are more than 15,500 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Governor Inslee outlined 4 phases to reopening Washington's economy during the coronavirus outbreak.
Phase 1 reopens some outdoor recreation like fishing and golfing, but still requires people to avoid gatherings and to still stay at home when possible. Certain types of businesses are also reopening, but outside of construction, no industry has received a specific plan to get back to work.
We have team coverage tonight. KOMO's Kara Kostanich and Suzanne Fawn are standing by, but we begin with KOMO's Keith Eldridge with more on what the governor had to say. Keith?
Right, we're just trying to clear up some of the confusion for people out there who've been out of work because of COVID-19 and just eager to figure out when they can go back to work. Now, let's show you the list again because it does get rather confusing, so let's get specific. The one we've been showing you under phase 1, starting today, if they hadn't already started, are the outdoor recreation activities, as you mentioned, golf, fishing, and hiking, with many state parks reopening. Churches can hold outdoor drive-in services. Essential businesses have already been up and running, and so has existing construction. But a lot of people have been asking us about the rest of the businesses in phase 1, so I put it straight to the governor.
Yeah, Governor, checking to see if you can get some clarity to whether there's going to be the return to landscaping today, or is that in the next several days, or auto sales, retail curbside pickup, the car washes and dog walkers, and what if the dog walker is handling a dog for a doctor or a nurse? Are those still to come in phase 1?
Yeah, we will hopefully by the end of this week or early next week to have the protocols in place so that those phase 1 can open. We want to do that as soon as we can. Good progress on that. There shouldn't be any showstoppers. So we'll have those protocols in place so the businesses can be confident, and importantly, their customers can be confident that all businesses are providing for their safety. This is kind of a consumer protection responsibility we have. That work's going well. It'll be just a few days so we can push the green button for them. I know they're chomping at the bit. We'll try to get those out as soon as humanly possible, but it's just a matter of days.
And so here's how we interpret it. So still on hold, landscaping, auto sales, retail curbside pickup, car washes, and those dog walkers. So the governor's office is still coming up with safety guidelines that they have to have in place before they can resume business. Again, the governor says that'll be in the next several days so those businesses can be up and running. But as far as the next phase, we still are hearing from the state health secretary that could be as early as June 1st, but it all depends on how the numbers continue with the virus and also what happens now that we are easing up on things starting here with phase 1. You can hear the hummingbirds flying around right now. Live at Hummingbird Ranch in Buckley, Keith Eldridge, KOMO News.
Hummingbird Ranch. Thank you, Keith. With Washington partially reopening various forms of outdoor recreation, there was a small return to normal for people who love to fish, but not without some new recommendations. KOMO's Kara Kosnich is live in Federal Way with that story tonight. Kara?
That's right, Eric, and this has been especially a hot spot today. We're at Steel Lake in Federal Way. I want to show you out on the docks here. This morning, it was so busy that it was really difficult to keep that.
With fishing opening on lakes across the region, it's an afternoon on Kent's Fenwick Lake for Richard and Janice Kochel.
We wanted to get out of the house. We've been kind of cooped up.
It's what so many are feeling in the era of COVID-19. So much so, some anglers have failed to keep 6 feet apart.
There are an awful lot of folks on these docks, and they're not paying particular attention to the social distancing.
That's the story on Everett's Silver Lake.
I love it. This is the first time I've been able to fish in months.
Many so happy to be enjoying the outdoors. The Department of Fish and Wildlife is asking those fishing on docks to keep a physical distance. The agency points to California beaches where folks weren't social distancing, and then beaches were shut down.
Hey, that could happen here.
But if recommendations are followed, that likely won't happen. But it can be hard, especially when a family of ducks come dockside. Back here at Lake Fenwick, the Kochels say fishermen are keeping their distance.
Everybody was spread out, had plenty of room.
And that's what's going to keep the Kochels coming back. And back out here live in Federal Way tonight. We're back up on our microphone now. I want to show you this dock out here tonight. This was really busy this morning, and it was difficult to keep that much important physical distance. But as the day has progressed, not as many people out here. And you can see folks really following some recommendations out here tonight and keeping that really desired social distancing. Now, these folks fishing for trout, we saw folks fishing for bass earlier. You're going to want to check rules with Department of Fish and Wildlife before you head out and start your fishing. We're live in Federal Way tonight. I'm Kara Kosnich, KOMO News.
Kara, thank you. Golf courses are wrapping up their first day back in business. Air Force spotted a few people out playing at Chambers Bay in the South Sound today. Golf facilities are allowed to reopen statewide, but you'll notice some changes, some signs, spacing, and smaller groups are now par for the course, pardon the pun. Golfers also won't find ball cleaners or rakes on the courses, and the state says they shouldn't touch any of the flags.
Other businesses in Phase 1 still haven't been cleared to open. They still need some additional guidance from the state. KOMO's Suzanne Fawn joins us live to explain this. Suzanne?
Well, also on the list, as you mentioned, of Phase 1 is dog walkers. We talked to the owners of 2 dog walking companies, and they say they have so many questions and there's so much confusion about their future.
We've lost 98% of our business.
Lori Tice owns Upward Dog Walker. She says the stay-at-home order has devastated her business.
We are very close to collapse.
Only one of her employees works right now and looks after the pets of 2 different essential workers in the health field. Tice says she got the okay for that weeks ago when she checked in with the Department of Commerce. It's a similar story for Jack Lambert, who owns Belltown Dog Walkers. He's waiting for the green light to relaunch. Both business owners say there's so much confusion about when they can restart.
It's very unclear, and this is a conversation going on in this dog walking community right now.
Another big concern, if they also have to file a safety plan and get it signed off before they can start again.
We will file a plan, and right now it's just day by day.
All my walkers were furnished hand sanitizer and masks.
That's not the only concern the dog walker companies have right now. Employees at many tech companies like Amazon and Expedia are now allowed to work from home until October 2nd.
The reality is, until our clients go back to work and stop working from home, that's we're still going to be in the same boat.
Meanwhile, another industry where there's more clarity, auto dealerships. We talked to Brad Brotherton, owner of Brotherton Cadillac.
Our car dealers' revenue is 20% of Renton's budget.
He says it's important that car dealerships can get back to work right away.
We're just hopeful that what we've put forward is agreeable with the governor's office, and we believe we've put a really good plan in place. We've got sneeze guards, we've got gloves and masks for all of our employees and our customers when they visit.
And we did check in with those 2 dog walking businesses that say they remain in limbo. Now, we checked in with the Department of Commerce as well as the governor's office for answers. They say that they will have more guidance for those businesses at the end of the week. We're live in Seattle. Suzanne Fawn, Como News.
Suzanne, thank you. Phase 2 could start as early as June 1st. That's when more businesses like hair salons could reopen. There would be at least 3 weeks between the next 2 phases. State leaders will be watching the disease activity to help decide when to move forward. So all of these dates are subject to change.
Look, you guys ready for a hit? You guys ready for a puff? Dabs in space. Dabs in space. Ready for that? Did something happen in Gaza today? I didn't see it reported, not that it's usually reported, and not that something doesn't happen in Gaza every day, but I hate to think that I'm missing out on, making sure, as many people as possible know about evil going on in Gaza, if I can. Did I miss something? Always something going on in Gaza, no doubt about it. Or somewhere else. That's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest fears here when this mainstream media, when all the news is focused on just one story, right? That's when you have to look the hardest at other things. And this story that they're focused on is just, you have to listen to what we're saying. And if you have any other opinion, you're a threat to us all. That's where we're at with the news now. If you have any other opinion than what we're saying, you are a threat to us all. Hello, caller.
Hello, Mike. How you doing tonight?
Hi, Michelle. How are you? I'm good.
Hi, Mike. I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better now. I missed the last hour of your show, though. I had a phone call, and so I just got back, and Craig was trying to fill me in a little bit about the stuff that was going on to Pete and Steve or some shit, man.
Crazy people.
I was like, God dang it, I'm going to have to rewatch this show.
I hope everything's okay.
Well, at first it wasn't, but it was. It was a friend of mine that I haven't talked to since I've been to work.
Oh.
And she was really freaking buying into, what we all been talking about is the fear.
Yeah.
She was buying that, and I was just all like, what's going on, man? Are you all right? And she was like, no, I just been so stressed out. And she even got to the point that yesterday she even admitted herself to the hospital because she was stressing out about this.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I told her, I said, God damn it, girl, I said, how long we known each other? I said, you know, you're supposed to call me before you get to this level. Like, dude, what is going on?
When was the last time you ate some marijuana, baby?
Yeah, I told her. And she was like, you know, I do have some. I said, light it up.
There you go. It makes a world of difference.
Yeah, man. And it was just like, oh, man. But everything she was saying is proof of what we've been talking about. It's the fact that they want you, okay, you just can't have free time, you know. It's like they want you in your free time. Don't think about your family. Don't think about nothing. Just think about the fear.
Never ending, constantly looming right there over your head, waiting to strike down on you when you least expect it.
Like a cobra, bitch.
You know, Michelle, it's not, and the fear, it works on all of us, you know, even though we might not want to admit it all the time, it really does work, because I was walking the dogs today, and we were walking through the wooded area where we always walk, and all of a sudden, I heard this large flying something buzzing around my head, and the first thought that came to me was, murder hornets! Ah! Murder hornet! Ah! No, I was very calm. I was like, because you know you don't want to. The last thing you want to do is aggravate a hornet.
Well, goddamn it, don't make. I used to have that saying too all the time. You know, you're gonna make me madder than a hornet. Knock it off.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Last
and
thing.
all of a sudden, you say hornet, and everybody's just like, "How dare you make a mockery of such a word?" I clutch my pearls and bless you, my child. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
And so it wasn't a hornet, huh? So it was a drone.
Oh no, I have no idea what it was. It was I didn't see it. That was the problem but I knew that it was large and that it was buzzing around my head. I didn't want to make any sharp, sudden moves. That's all.
You ignore it. They'll ignore you, man.
Just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward.
The last thing you want to do is swat at something that you can't see, because then it's on.
Yeah.
You know, if you just hear something buzz by your ear, just be like, okay, it just passed me, but I'm okay.
Well, it's not just that, Michelle. It's, you know, even though the fear might sneak inside of you, you don't have to respond to it as if you know it's in control. You know, the fear was inside of me. The first thing that went to me was murder hornet, right? But I didn't fucking start going and throwing acting like my hair was on fire. I just kept moving forward, man. You know, and like I said, that's how we get through all of this. Go ahead, Michelle.
The first case live you've heard it here of Max News is a hornet hoax.
You know it's true.
Shut the hell up, man. God damn, man. No, I'm just saying. I was like any other kind of fucking, like a little bee, you know. You probably won't run into them because apparently they're all dying. But yeah, even if you see a bee and shit, just like shit, mind your own business. You know, just don't swat at it. Just be calm. And of course, that fear is gonna fucking overcome you. Like, oh bitch, oh my god.
I cherish the bees. I love the bees. I whenever I see them, I'm very happy to have seen them. I don't fear the bees at all. Although you know, it can be nasty getting bit by one of them for sure.
Well, that's your own damn fault, man. Because bees are only going out there minding their own damn business. But if you swat it, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. They're out there to pollinate, you know, the flowers, the vegetation, everything, man. They are so essential.
I love the bees.
Essential.
Yeah.
And we gotta take care of that shit. We gotta take care of the bees.
Yeah, the bumblebees, the honeybees. I love seeing them bounce around from flower to flower. I think, wow, what a cool life, man. Flying around from flower to flower. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
We used to have this fucking all these roses. There was like fucking 7 beautiful roses I had of different colors. And every year you never knew what they were going to bloom because of all the beautiful bees that would pollinate each other. So it'd be a mixture of orange and red or white and red and just so beautiful. Like, man, that's the beauty of nature.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Now the roses are either red, white, or whatever the hell. But, oh, my God, I used to have such a beautiful flower bed when I was back in Ohio. Here it's like solid, beautiful red. I mean, it's nice, you know, but just don't see the bees like I used to.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
and I'm
unfortunate.
talking 5 years ago when I was in Ohio, so.
Yeah, I worry about the bees. For a couple of summers, I didn't see very many bees, but this last summer I saw a lot more, so I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, but it's bad though because with the Monsanto seeds, you know how they say you to buy seeds from us, so you don't buy anything. And
Yeah.
farmers can't reuse their original seeds. They have to fucking go and purchase them the next day instead of doing what they do. Well, all those fucking shit is all with that GMO shit in it. That's what's killing the bees. But now all of a sudden everybody's all worried about, oh my God, the bees. Okay, why haven't I heard about Monsanto killing the bees? Where's that article at?
Yeah.
You know, where's segment at? You know, we want to talk about something else, but let's fucking say what Monsanto has been doing all this time.
Right. These pesticides that they're putting on all the flowers when you buy them at the stores, that's the problem. Is they put these pesticides on the flowers to try and make them last longer, so to keep, make sure they don't get attacked and stuff before they get sold, and then they spread this fucking evil poison out into everybody's gardens.
Yeah, and if you don't get their shit, everything else dies. Everything that you would try to do organically, that shit'll die. So pretty much farmers are like, well, fuck, we got to do whatever, it takes to, make a living, which is really hard, right now for them, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's never been a very easy living to be a farmer.
No, but they had so much pride until somebody had to intervene and say, no, this is what you're going to use instead of them being farmers, what they learned for generations after generations. Now the man is going to come in and tell them how to farm.
Yeah.
I was like, it's in our, just leave us alone. Leave us alone. Let us keep doing what we're doing. Stay out of it. No, there they go. Same thing as any other worker. We know what we're doing. We're grown adults. Come to me when I fuck up. If I don't fuck up, don't be there fucking, looking at me constantly, bird dogging my ass when I'm doing my fucking job. Go lay down until I yank your fucking chain. And that's what a lot of American workers believe, because you want to do the paper pushing, go sit in your goddamn desk and paper push, bitch, while we all go out here and make the actual fucking product. There's too much fucking that we need this and we need that, and we're spending so much money, and all these companies are spending so much money. Why? Because of your ass. You have 1,000 fucking people doing the paperwork when all that really matters is the people who actually have their blood, sweat, and tears in the process. Fuck all those paper pushers, man. You can't have a few people adding up the numbers. It got so complicated when the white collar tried to take over. It is like, bitches, motherfuckers, let us do our job. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how they belittle us. We've known how to work all this time. You all just caught up. But back the fuck up, because we've been doing this for generations. And all of a sudden you got your little diploma on your wall saying that I know more than you. No, you fucking don't, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You don't know how it is to work hard. You know about fucking getting as much as you can on the workers and everything else. That's not fucking working. That's just showing your greed. And that's what companies do. That's what they are taught. Figure out how to fucking cut costs. That's your number one fucking thing. Figure that shit out. When you're in business, that's what it is. Figure it out. Don't care about your workers.
Right.
Don't care about what they have to go through. Don't care if this one guy has to do 4 fucking jobs. But hey, you save money on 3 employees. Hey, we congratulate that man. That's why when people fucking come up and say, oh, why are we hating on billionaires? Because they are exploiting the fucking American man who is out there just to earn a living for the fucking family and to do right. They want us to be out of drugs. They want us not to do this and that. But what's the alternative? You know, be their slave to where I can go work fucking 60 hours a week and I have, oh yeah, I have enough to pay all my bills and everything, and I have $5 left over. Woo! The American dream. The fuck? They got to get their boot off our back. And we need to realize our value. You know? Shit. Without us, they ain't got shit, and they see that. That's why they act now. Like, you keep showing these Tucker videos, dude, you're killing me with that shit.
Oh, I have a good one coming up.
Lately, look, my opinion, look, I respect what he's saying, but I don't respect it in the sense that he's a Johnny-come-lately. Tucker was all against everything else until fucking Trump yanked his chain and said, you know what, we need to get this economy going, we need to get the economy going. His billionaire fucking owner.
I agree, Michelle. I agree with you. I keep seeing that. When I keep listening to Tucker, I'm like, this isn't what he was saying before.
No, he wasn't, Mike.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Now all of a sudden he's just like, how dare they not let you go out and serve? How dare they? Bitch, before you're like, fuck you, stay home, bitch.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he changed. And it's like, of course, they roll with whatever they fucking tell him to do. He's their puppet.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I've always said that.
And heired to a billionaire company, Swanson name, the Swanson brand name.
Mm.
So he doesn't have nothing to lose. You know, just like with Anderson Cooper, he has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He fucks too. That's why they say whatever they say until all of a sudden maybe it affects them personally. Then they're going to stand up and say something. Then they're going to get a slap on the wrist and then be brought back. You know, well, I'm sorry, I was just really having a bad day that day. I didn't mean to tell you the truth. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, it's incredible. But my friend was really struggling with that to where I was just like, who's this? I didn't even recognize her voice.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? I said, hey, you know, I'm all yours. What's up? You know, and sure enough, man, that's why I told her I said, turn off the fucking news. Stop watching that shit.
Yeah.
I said, that's all it's going to tell you is that, you know, everybody's okay, you know. Now, people weren't scared enough. Now, all of a sudden, that goddamn tiger in the Bronx had to get fucking COVID. Now, oh shit, maybe.
Right.
And I was telling her this because it's like, calm down, because she was really seriously, you know, scared of this shit. And I was pissed off because this is the shit that I'm against. Don't be fucking feeding people this shit, man. You know?
Right.
Because how do you know that it was the COVID with the goddamn tiger, and then all of a sudden, like we said, here we go. Now you can't play with the little kitten. Now you can't play with your fucking dog. You know? What's next? The goldfish? Goddamn, because our chloroquine belongs to people, not the goddamn tank. I mean, what the fuck? And she was falling for all that. And that's why I told her, I said, no. I said, just do what you always do. I said, there's bacteria every fucking where. Just like there was crime everywhere back in the 70s and the 50s. The only thing is now, with our, you know, the digital age, everybody can see what the fuck is going on, and people can't accept that because it's overwhelming. So many things, the horrible things that are happening, it gets overwhelming to where it's just spinning in your head. Sometimes you just gotta say, stop, wait a minute. I can't control what's going on there, but I can control what the hell is going on around me. And if I want to hug my grandkid and I want to do this and that, I'm going to do it because that's what we are. We're a species of love and fucking talking with people whether we admit it or not. That's just our kindness. That's just how we are made. And they want to change our whole fucking demeanor. It's just like you cannot let them control who you are. Be smart like you always do. If I see somebody coughing their lung out, I'm not gonna be like, hey man, fucking give them them a high five, fucking hug them and shit like that. No, I'm gonna be doing like I always would do on a normal day. Walk around and just keep moving.
Yeah, keep moving. Keep moving forward.
Scared. Quit being so scared. And my poor friend was so fucking scared, man. I felt bad for her.
Yeah, if you just listen to the news 24 hours a day, it will fuck your brain. A lot of people, I mean, it really hurts them badly.
Yeah, because she was the one that, she was like, shit, I don't give a fuck about nobody. She's independent and everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She got, you know, like I said, you know, my coworker and everything, independent and everything, and I got this. And when I was talking to her today, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's like, you know, usually she sounds more assertive about herself and more just all like, I got this. And, man, that's what I told her. I said, how about next time you don't let it get to this point and you just call me? And she's like, I know, girl, I don't even know why I didn't call you. And I was like, yeah. I said, man, I said, you gotta just stop watching that shit on TV. That's it, you know.
Well, we have this interesting conversation too about it every night, which I think helps a lot too if people don't have anybody to talk to and shit, that because we really we kind of lay everything out, and it's like, look, we're gonna get through this, and I mean, nobody's telling you that in the news. They're saying we're all gonna die. So
And I sure hell, and we are sure as hell not sitting here fucking telling you that Fido's gonna kick the bucket. That ain't cool.
yeah, no, that's
No,
not cool at all.
no, I don't know that. You don't know that. And it's like, but you're infiltrating now into my personal life now to where my exes are being so scared of this fucking virus that I can't even be competent enough to take care of my fucking family because I feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown. No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that to yourself. Because here, while you're scared about the virus, you're losing your life already thinking about it. So what the fuck are you doing? The virus is gonna hit you when your immune system is down. And when is it? When you're stressed out, dude. It's like, don't do that. It's like you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Don't think of things like that. Just like when your family comes over, you know that they haven't been out of the country. You know that they know how they feel. Give them a hug, goddamn it. Who gives a fuck? And if I'm gonna die because I hugged my family, so be it. We all gonna die. Whether I'm driving to work and a fucking plane crashing down on my car on the way to work, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna live every day scared of loving on my family.
Yeah.
Or any of my close friends, anybody for that matter.
Yeah.
But if you're fucking snotting up and you coughing and shit, I'm just gonna go around you and be all like, okay, you take care of you.
And if you are like that, you should be home anyways. I shouldn't have to worry about giving you a hug because you already know you're sick and you're making sure not to get anybody else sick. It's
and that's what I said. If this virus is supposed to be worse than the regular flu, well, I've had the flu once upon a time when I took the fucking vax and they gave it to me and I didn't do it again. But anyway, I know what the flu feels like. And I didn't want to get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed. So if you're telling me that this COVID is worse than that, who in the fuck is going to have the energy to go out there and catch a wave? Who's going to be able to go out there and go grocery shopping? They're going to be on their fucking bed, man, barely able to move. So why are you scaring us for shit that it's really worse than the regular flu? Okay, well, people look at the symptoms of a regular flu, body aches and everything else. I'm not ready to go out, like, no, I'm on runny nose, fucking coughing, sneezing, it so hurts, your whole body's killing you and shit. So if this COVID is that bad, now we're talking walking zombie. Because there's no fucking way. And, I mean, come on. They're just, people are getting sick because of a virus, but they're throwing this out of proportion. Is how I feel. I feel bad for people that have died from this. If it's really what they died of, or if it's something else that they just want to, whatever. They need the numbers.
Well, there's something bigger. There's some kind of bigger psychological operation on the public going on, Michelle. Because we've heard doctor after doctor saying that they're overinflating the numbers. They're labeling everybody a COVID-19 death. You've seen those videos, right?
Yeah, just like did you hear about the nurses there in Russia that jumped out of a window, man?
I did hear something about that.
Yeah, there was a couple of them, they said, and the thing that they were arguing about was, and they had video of it, was how people were back to back, like on regular cots, all sick, with the IVs in them, all crammed up in a fucking closet, that there was no room for the patients, So this one doctor had voiced out her opinion, and another doctor did the same thing, said, it's not, we're not getting what we need here in Russia. Well, I'll be damned if a couple of those jumped out of the fucking window to their deaths. How about that? After they were on video being interviewed through all this, of what they were saying, their opinion. And then they even had it, after they had said what they had to say, next thing you know, I think it was the guy, doctor, because there was a guy doctor and a woman doctor. And I think it was the guy doctor who come back saying, well, no, not everything is as bad as I said that it was. Pretty much retracting everything he said. And next thing you know, both of those doctors mysteriously, at different times, ended up jumping out of their windows to their death. They were just suicidal. And everybody's all like, no, she's a good doctor. She loved everybody. She cared about everybody. And, well, apparently somebody didn't like her criticizing their health care over there in Russia. Wonder what happened there.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know, that's the same kind of thing that always happens in Russia, really, from what we've been told anyways.
Dude, that happens here in the U.S.
Yeah,
of A.
I agree. Seth Rich.
Had fucking found, they had discovered vaccines to cure all different diseases. All of a sudden, were fucking mysteriously being murdered, 10 years ago or so? Yeah, that everything that they had discovered, no, there was no discovery for cancer. There was no discovery for this and that. But there was discovery for Viagra, Good thing we were looking to lower the cholesterol. Like, damn. Yeah, that's been shown, too, about the doctors that mysteriously die that could have helped the world. And it's always because, they had suicidal tendencies and they all just happened to commit murder. Or suicide. They commit suicide.
It's strange. It's strange how many people who could really make a giant difference in the world seem to kill themselves.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Yeah.
Who would have thought of that? Yeah.
How's your dogs doing?
Oh, they're doing good.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. It was like 80 degrees and sunny, so it was a great day.
Right on. That in Texas, that sounds about perfect.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. Can't complain, Like him, then who would listen?
It won't do any good. It won't make your life a better place.
Exactly. That's what I was telling my friends. Just relax and enjoy your life because, when we go back to work, it's going to be balls to the wall, man. So I was like, enjoy your grandbaby, love your kids and everything and just be there for them. And, don't let them see this shell of a grandparent or mom, It's like, fucking, it's life, girl. I mean, she's young and everything. It's just like, live your life, man. Shit, be happy.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that shit because the hornets now and this and that next. I don't know what insect is going to be next after this.
The terrorists are next, Michelle. The terrorists are next. I would expect the terrorists within about 30 to 45 days from this point forward.
God damn. Yeah, and I would say locusts, but they're too busy over there fucking up Africa. Poor people over there.
Yeah.
Their locusts going crazy over there and shit. But I don't know, whatever they fucking throw, we're, ready for it. They're gonna fucking say every animal on the fucking farm, man. E-I-fucking-O. E-I-E-I-O. Whatever. Just don't be scared, people. Shit. Live your life. Do what's right. You want to hug somebody? That's your fucking parent. Whatever. Hug them, man.
Yeah.
Don't be all then fall for the bullshit that they say.
Yeah,
fuck that. We know.
Those people have been lying to you forever. You know that they've been lying to you forever. This is one of the most important parts of the equation. Is to understand that these people, the media, the politicians, the medical industrial complex, they've been lying to us for generations. How many generations now have they been telling us that marijuana has zero medicinal qualities? Okay, and that's just one thing. And I say that, I bring it up again and again because these people that, they're supposed to be the smartest people amongst us. They study, they go to universities for years and study, and then they go out in the field and they study more, and then they look you in the eye and say, marijuana has no medicinal qualities, like they're reading off a fucking script, okay? Don't trust these fucking bullshit cunts.
Money talks, Mike, and nowadays that's all there is to it, and it's been going like that. The only thing is that this administration that we got is okaying all this shit to come out in the open. That's all he did is show us exactly how the government steals from you. He's shown exactly how biased they are against us, both sides.
Yeah.
But people are still, Trump is such a best fucking president in the United States. He's not what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What is with you?
I hear you, Michelle. He's talking out his ass, but I'm really glad for a lot of the things that he's saying. I mean, it's good to hear it coming from somewhere.
I just fucking am getting sick and tired of people acting like, oh my God, this guy would never lie to us.
Well, I don't act like that. I'm just glad to hear somebody saying stuff that he's saying. That's all. I really am. I'm really glad to hear somebody speaking out against the government, against the. I can't stand these. When you look at the fucking other media, everybody else basically, and they're saying no, you have to do what the government says. You have to do what the government says. I fucking hate that. It just drives me insane. And it's such fucking programming. It's just, no, do what they say, do what they say, do what they say forever. I'm just, it just doesn't work on me, and it makes me. So when I hear something different, it feels like it's important, and that's why I try to share it. Not to frustrate Michelle.
You never want to trigger me, do you? You lied.
All right, I'm gonna play that clip. I'm gonna play that Tucker clip for you now, Michelle.
All right, brother. Then we'll talk later, man. It's good talking to you.
Okay, you stay cool. Talk soon.
Always.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. That's our buddy Michelle from Texas, and I do have a lovely Tucker clip for you this evening. I'm gonna play that now, and we'll be right back.
Good evening, and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. One of the reasons that most of the Western world embraced unprecedented mass quarantines this spring was due to the work of a single man, a man you may not have heard of. He's a British academic called Neil Ferguson. Ferguson is a professor at a college in London, but he's also something of an international celebrity. He is best known for his dire predictions about pandemics. Ferguson seemed especially panicked by the Wuhan coronavirus. At one point, he suggested the coronavirus might be comparable to the Spanish flu of 1918. The pandemic that killed up to 100 million people. On February 28th of this year, as the disease spread throughout Europe, Ferguson publicly endorsed the Chinese model of quarantine, specifically. Now, keep in mind that as Ferguson spoke the words you're about to see, videos were circulating on the internet showing police in Wuhan throwing screaming citizens into the back of panel trucks and driving them to some unspecified internment somewhere. Ferguson must have known that the Chinese government's response in Wuhan was extreme and utterly inhumane. He endorsed it anyway. That's how serious Neil Ferguson was about this virus.
One has to adopt the sort of community measures which have been adopted, particularly in places like Wuhan and China, where you try to reduce contacts between people in the community. So the sorts of measures which are important are, first of all, if anybody has any sort of respiratory disease, cold, anything, stay at home until those symptoms are fully resolved.
Seems like kind of a reserved academic, and all of a sudden he's endorsing the Wuhan response. Leaders around the world paid attention to this. They took Ferguson's advice and locked down their entire populations. The British government asked Ferguson to help design its quarantines as a member of the Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies, SAGE. Ferguson was happy to help shut down the entire United Kingdom. But it turns out he wasn't that interested at all in participating in it personally. Today, the Telegraph newspaper reported that Neil Ferguson ignored his own lockdowns. While the rest of London stayed trapped indoors, indeed the rest of the country, Ferguson repeatedly invited his married mistress over to his apartment for sex. And then perhaps most striking of all, he was infected with the coronavirus at the time. Neil Ferguson became sick and tested positive in mid-March. We know this because he said so publicly at the time. Not long after that, he invited his mistress over. By doing this, he exposed her to a deadly virus. He also exposed her husband and her children back home. When confronted today, Ferguson said this, quote, "I acted in the belief that I was immune." That was his explanation. The problem is there is no scientific proof that that's true. Can someone who was sick a few weeks ago still transmit the coronavirus? We're not sure. For a famous scientist, Neil Ferguson is curiously ignorant of science. He's also, obviously, an appalling hypocrite, and he's not alone in that. So many of the people making our policies are like this. Almost compulsively, again and again, they do the very things they punish us for doing. When they're caught, they acknowledge no shame. They are entirely lacking in self-awareness. They have no idea how absurd they are. They discredit themselves without even realizing it. Almost immediately after telling the rest of New York City to stay inside, for example, Mayor Bill de Blasio loaded up his SUV with government bodyguards and headed for the gym across town in Brooklyn. A government spokesman later explained the trip was necessary because de Blasio's gym, quote, has been a huge part of his and his family's life. Oh, okay, that makes sense. De Blasio likes his gym, so he kept going there, despite telling you not to. Got it. Weeks later, de Blasio still couldn't stay out of Brooklyn for some reason. One day, he and his wife left their home in Manhattan, Gracie Mansion, and drove more than 10 miles to Prospect Park in Brooklyn for some sunshine and some fresh air. A stunned citizen happened to see the whole thing and videotaped it. Here's what happened.
Seriously, you guys have a park. You live in the middle of a park. You don't need to not essentially travel to Brooklyn.
Come on, guys. Give it a break.
Come on, you won't even open roads for people of all backgrounds. I'm not going to give it a break. Like, this is selfish behavior. This is the epitome of non-essential travel.
Non-essential travel? What's that? When you make the rules, that's not even a category. Just ask Justin Trudeau, the preachy Prime Minister of Canada. On April 12th, Trudeau released a video commanding Canadians to stay in their homes for Easter. It's what Jesus would do, he declared.
So as we reflect on Jesus' message of love and compassion, let's think about our healthcare workers and essential service workers who are on the front lines every day. Let's put into practice what it truly means to love our neighbors as ourselves by making sacrifices to protect their health. Let's stay home for them.
That's the kind of quarantine Jesus endorses. Love means staying home. For you, not for them. Not long after recording the video you just saw, Trudeau left the capital and traveled all the way to Quebec to visit his family at their lake house, just like you'd want to do on Easter, if you were allowed to do that, but you're not allowed, so stop complaining. You might also want to get your hair cut. People do, and in Chicago last month, that was not allowed. You couldn't get your hair cut. But the city's mayor, Lori Lightfoot, had her hair done anyway. When she was caught doing this, Lightfoot didn't even blush. Now, we played this clip for you on Friday's show, but it's one of those videos that no matter how many times you watch it, drops your jaw every time.
I'm the public face of this city. I'm on national media, and I'm out in the public eye. And, you know, I'm a person who, I take my personal hygiene very seriously. As I said, I felt like I needed to have a haircut. I'm not able to do that myself, and so I got a haircut.
Got that? Shut up, proles! I'm on national television. Chris Cuomo knows that feeling very well. Last month, the CNN anchor drove to a piece of property he owns in the Hamptons where apparently he's building a new weekend house. At the time, Cuomo was infected with the coronavirus and suffering from symptoms. He was supposed to be quarantined in total isolation in his basement full time. That's where he told his television audience he was. Night after night, Cuomo put on shows that revolved around his struggles with the illness and his virtuous, even selfless efforts to prevent others from getting infected with it. Given all the publicity he was generating for being sick, at least one Hamptons resident was shocked to see him out and about and confronted Cuomo about it. Cuomo responded by calling the man a, quote, jackass loser. The man's real name is David Whalen, and we invited him on the show to hear his story.
I just said, don't you have the coronavirus? Shouldn't you be quarantined? And I think his next words were, what the hell do you know about this? What do you know about the rules? I said, you're not supposed to be out here. Nobody had gloves on. Nobody had masks on.
Oh, did you hear that detail? No gloves, no mask. An infected man circulating among an unsuspecting population. When you watch television, you imagine Chris Cuomo is a responsible journalist. That's how he often describes himself. In fact, he's Typhoid Mary. And there's a vast gap between those two personas. For the average person, hypocrisy is the most embarrassing thing of all. Getting caught the way Chris Cuomo did would spur an existential crisis in most people. You might decide to devote the rest of your life to personal humility in response. You might move to Paraguay in shame and never speak in public again. But not Chris Cuomo. He didn't look back. He blamed the other guy and kept going. Cuomo was right there on television just last night, haranguing people for doing precisely what he did.
But there's also fatigue. I've had it. Season's changing. It's getting warm. Want to get back to it. Look at these fools. Fools. I know they want to be out there. Fools. It's not about you. What about the other people? And look, I'm not going to castigate you. That's not my job. I'm not your daddy.
Fools! It's not about you, says the buff CNN anchor. Because if there's one thing in this world that Chris Cuomo just can't stand, it's narcissism. He hates it. It doesn't seem to occur to Chris Cuomo for a moment that he may be actually describing himself. It never occurs to any of these people. It's never one time occurred to Chris Cuomo's brother, the governor of New York. Andrew Cuomo just gave a pungent press briefing, as he so often does. Maybe you saw it. If not, watch this clip and tell us what you notice.
I think it's disrespectful of people not to wear masks. I mean, think about it. Do I think local government should be enforcing it? And should there be sanctions? Yes. Yes. Because it is a public health emergency. And I think there should be a penalty. Because you could literally kill someone. You could literally kill someone because you didn't want to wear a mask.
Hear that, Dumbo? You hard of hearing? Listen up. It's disrespectful. You could literally kill someone by not wearing a mask. Says the man not wearing a mask, who happens to be sitting next to other people who are not wearing masks. Do they hear themselves when they talk like this? On some level they do. They know they're hypocritical frauds, and that's exactly why they lecture you so hysterically. It makes them feel better. They probably suspect you know it too. It's just so obvious. They simply don't care enough about your opinion to bother with what you think. That's all of them. This would be infuriating if these people didn't run the world, but it's worse than that because they do.
All right, so I'm going to let you see one of the weeds that I'm going to grow. I'm going to grow this right here. Bruce Banner crossed with amnesia haze. From Trump seeds. President Trump personally sent these seeds to us. I have video of him sending them. These guys are really cool. The guy's name is Mark, and apparently he's been breeding for about 30 years now. And when he sends you seeds, he videotapes himself with a video of a letter with your name and address on it, and then he opens up a mailbox and drops it in the mailbox, and then closes the lid, and then sends you the video of him mailing it. Pretty cool, huh? I love that. Never seen that before. Fucking brilliant. But this is, I've looked, this is the one that I really want to grow the most. I have a couple of things. He has a blue cheese that he sent us from Trump Seeds that he said he's been working on for 30 years. So that should be a very interesting grow. And then we're going to do, I'm going to show you this one other plant we're going to grow flowers of. This is the peyote cookies. And we're going to do this one because she looks so yum. Everybody seems to really, really like this flower. Is a big part of why I'm choosing to grow this one. And look how pretty that is. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. And this one too. I wish it was right side up. It'd be a little bigger if it was right side up. But look at these genetics. Look at this. It's just looking so fucking killer. Rolex Kush. Coochie. It's got the coochie in it. Oh, the coochie is so good. Love the coochie. So we're going to grow that. I'm going to start those seeds either tonight or tomorrow afternoon. I'm really thinking tonight because I'm tired of waiting another freaking day. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll have plenty of other things to do in the garden, especially if we got seeds started. So I think we'll start them. I got them all mapped out. I know everything we're going to grow right here. I know what we're going to grow outdoor. I know what we're going to grow indoor. I know what we're going to grow for the desk. I know what indoor autos we're going to grow. I know what indoor photo periods we're going to grow. I got it all mapped out. And I have all my little glasses that I put the seeds in with the water. I have them all labeled. So I'm ready to go. And I have some really cool stuff we're going to try out. We're going to do a little experiment so that we can be like we have these pots, these kind of new designed pots that are supposed to be amazing things to grow in. We're going to grow in that, and then we're going to grow one of the peyote cookies in one of those pots, and then we'll grow another one just in a standard pot right next to it and see how that works out. Should be amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait. I just can't wait any longer. I just can't wait any longer. What is wrong with you? Okay, and I have one more video clip to play. Let's see. Fucking Tiger. No, we played the fucking Tiger video. I have one more clip to play. If anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. This is a live call-in show. And you know, it's you guys who really make it interesting. I've always said it's you guys' voices that really matter on Mox News. That's why I stayed so long behind the camera, mostly, was because it like no other news agency, Mox News has always said, you're what makes it interesting. Your voices are the most important. No other news agency cares about your voices. You know, Craig keeps bringing up this guy who does live streams, you know, and he's like, well, why doesn't this guy take calls? You know, and it's because he doesn't want to take calls. He doesn't care what you have to say. It's not about you, you know. So thanks so much for tuning in, because it's about you, and if you weren't here, what would be the point, you know? So let's see. I have one more clip. We don't have a caller yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do a clip about apparently Wendy's Burgers, the fast food chain Wendy's, is about 20% of their restaurants are out of hamburger patties, and they can't get any more of them. And at the moment, apparently they're having trouble getting more of them, and I thought you guys might find that interesting.
Farmers across the country are throwing away tens of thousands of pounds of produce as demand is down during the coronavirus pandemic. But a grassroots effort was formed in Woodinville to help keep that produce from going to waste in eastern Washington, while some families in western Washington are hungry. Our Kayla Lafferty spoke with a farmer who donated crop to those in need.
Times are tough, and we're trying to get through it here.
As the coronavirus shut down restaurants, shops, and processing plants across the country, farmers aren't able to move product.
Potatoes that are being plowed under right now as we speak.
Austin Ochoa, Chief Operating Officer of Terrigold Farms in Othello, has seen that loss.
People, they're investing, $2,000 to $2,500 an acre. And, they don't want to have to invest any more into that crop, not knowing if they have a home for those potatoes.
That's when Nancy Balin saw a Facebook post saying farms in eastern Washington wanted to donate crops. Within 36 hours, she had organized a caravan of people to drive across the state to pick up the produce.
It's the best feeling you can imagine to be making sure that these crops are not plowed under in the eastern Washington, while people in Western Washington are going hungry.
Then a nonprofit in Woodinville called Farmer Frog stepped in to take the donation.
We had a little over 12,600 some pounds of potatoes and 9,500 pounds of onions.
They are now boxing, sorting, and delivering the produce to food banks and families in need.
We just have to make sure that it's getting distributed to all the folks who need it right now.
And what is that like for you guys in such a rough time right now around the country, knowing that you're able to give back to people that really need it?
It's tough to be giving away free potatoes, in such quantity. But, if it's going to help out Americans and people in need that absolutely need them, we're more than willing to do that.
This is amazing. This whole thing happened in 36 hours. It's amazing.
This is how we are going to keep a community alive, and everybody has something to bring to the table.
In Woodinville, Kayla Lafferty, King 5 News.
Wow, thank you, Kendra.
Some major sellers are limiting meat purchases in their stores, and some restaurants are running out. That is leading to calls for investigations into market manipulation. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin has the latest tonight from Chicago.
Wendy's, the chain that gave us the phrase, "Where's the beef?" now has customers asking that very question due to a beef shortage. Kroger's and Costco are among the stores limiting meat purchases because of a fear they will run out. There is no shortage of cattle. With the slowdown of processing, there's an oversupply, driving the price down. Ranchers say they're losing up to $400 per head.
The cattle industry went to heck in a handbag. It's the market's dropped a bunch, and the producer can't make it on what they're getting for these calves now.
But the price for processed beef roughly doubled since January. Ranchers claim the meat packers see gross profit around $2,000 for each cow or steer.
There is no doubt that the packers are currently making a lot of money.
Senator Kevin Kramer of North Dakota complains that 4 meatpacking companies control 80% of the market.
You're seeing, in my view, I think some games being played with both the pandemic and the vulnerability of our supply chain.
The cattleman wrote the president requesting an investigation by the USDA and Department of Justice in the hope of identifying whether inappropriate influence occurred in the markets. Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue agreed.
We'll continue to do that to make sure there's been no collusion or criminal activity there.
The CEO for the North American Meat Institute, which represents 95% of meat production in the U.S., said it will cooperate. The North American Meat Institute will continue to work with the administration to ensure that markets operate in a fair and transparent manner. Senator Kramer says there's something that doesn't make sense when the price of the critter goes down, but the price of the end product goes up, and the guys in the middle control the price. Brett, back to you.
Mike Tobin in Chicago. Mike, thanks.
True alcohol, over 90%. I'm talking about 180 proof plus. If you get over 182 proof, that stuff turns not in drugs. That's not a drug. That's a medicine. And it's a tool. What that tool is it strips the terpenes and the THC off of the weed after you end up. And that's how you make the tinctures. Yeah. Right. Tinctures are good. I mean, especially if you're having trouble, if you have a cough or something, a tincture is a very good way to go. Well, they ended thing all up. They bought all the Everclear in my state. Everyone bought Everclear because when I needed it, it wasn't there. They had 5% Everclear. 75% is not strong enough to strip the terpenes. You need 90%. Yeah. Well, good. But you found some, right? No. Oh. No. Basically everyone ended up going, quarantine, hand sanitizer. We need to go ahead and buy all the Everclear. Yeah. What's the weather like there today? I don't know. It's been a little weird. I ended up throwing
some poppy seed. I ended up, okay, my friend and I ended up going and getting some special dirt yesterday. Good dirt.
Soil.
Because we want to try to grow really, really badly.
Yeah.
But, we got some dirt, we threw it down, and I've been watering it for 2 days. And we're trying to grow some poppies. I'm not sure how well that goes.
Cool. That's awesome. But how's the weather?
Half sunny, half cloudy, like it's
spring?
been good. Yeah, well, it's almost summer. The weird thing is that we're almost about to go ahead and hit that curve because Reno only has like 2 weeks of spring or summer. Like,
Yeah.
it's just 2 weeks of spring.
Right. I hear you.
And that's if we're lucky.
It's either hot or cold there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we're lucky, we get, but not too often. And this year, I think we've been hovering for about 5 weeks. Yeah, this is like the 5th week we've been hovering around good weather.
Cool. That sounds nice.
So yeah. So we're about, ready to go ahead and hit that upward curve. Although, hey, it's that ozone in the Arctic ended up closing.
I don't know.
Yeah. The big hole in the ozone up north, the Arctic, it completely closed itself. It's.
You still there?
Oh, yeah, I am. Sorry, signal spotty sometimes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The whole Arctic ended up sealing itself up. So basically, that ozone hole got fixed. It fixed itself. The planet fixed it.
Good.
So
that's
nice.
Good news. Yeah. No, that's one of the things that I keep pointing out about the COVID that I like is that it's showing us that we can heal the earth if we actually make that a priority. Unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to be a priority.
I don't know. Hey, well, what about the solutions that you want to think about? Like, you want to try to give mushrooms to everyone, the psychedelics.
People should be free to do what they want to do. It's not about giving anything to everyone. It's about
Everyone needs to have their head cleaned.
Well, they really need cannabis. This is the real problem, is that cannabis is not in their life. Cannabis is meant to be a daily part of our lives, whether we're eating it, using it recreationally, building our homes out of it, fueling our cars out of it, making our clothing out of it, whatever it is. And it's not any part of our lives anywhere daily whatsoever. And this is a real problem, not just for the human species, but the whole planet.
I only heard the last 30 seconds.
Okay, Stephen.
Talking about cannabis?
Yeah. Well, okay, Stephen, we're going
to...
Yeah, I'm going to go, Stephen. I'm glad to hear you're staying strong, man.
Well, I am. I haven't worked over the last, I don't know, week or two. But I am going to go ahead and go back. I'm capable of working.
Excellent. Well, you stay strong and keep up the gardening, man. You're going to come up with something cool if you keep on it.
I will. I'm going to be strong. Hey, let me go ahead and tell you in a week about how it's going to go.
That'd be awesome.
Okay. I'll talk to you next Tuesday. Hey, but the only thing is that you have to go ahead and be here after 10 o'clock because that's when my TV show ends, and I'll call you back.
Okay. Well, you call anytime.
Okay, I will.
Okay, Stephen.
Good night.
It's good to hear from you. Stay cool, man.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, that's our buddy Stephen from Reno. Let's see, we did the food shortage. That's all the videos. We did all the videos. All of them. All done. And for those of you who don't know, that there is a hospital in Israel that is treating COVID-19 with cannabis, and they are doing so again. I've been telling you this all along for over a month now, that cannabis is a known anti-inflammatory, and that one of the big main problemary symptoms of COVID-19 is inflammation. So there you go. Once again, being right there for my people. And you are my people, and we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's when we're there for our people. We're here every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. It's a call-in show. It's always better when you're here. It's always good to hear from you. And that means we'll be back tomorrow. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. I hope we see you there. And remember, one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till that day.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.